What is going on? Welcome to CloudNationTV. This is us. You guys.
Wait a minute.
How's it going?
This is somebody. See, I told you not to talk about PlayStation. JD and left the show.
No, he's not. I got a message. Don't worry, I got a message from him. I heard he's going out to buy an Xbox.
Oh, okay. All right.
JD, we love you.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
He'll come around. Maybe tonight, maybe some other night, but we love him. He loves us.
Yes.
I hope he loves us. Truly
hope so. I mean,
yeah.
We troll him enough about PlayStation, and he keeps coming back, so he must.
So,
we must be doing something.
How's everyone doing?
Oh my God, Extraction,
pretty good.
Yeah,
right.
Garfield, okay,
right,
whatever.
Right there, come on now.
Whatever it is.
That as a real game of the day.
That's the second hottest game everybody's talking about.
I just finished my lasagna right before we went live.
Still haven't given it a try. I have to fire that up.
Dude, it's got online multiplayer action. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Actually got that game for like $1.39, something like that, not too long ago on the Steam sale.
$1.59 on Steam, dude. That's a deal.
It's still $1.49.
Guys, I think he managed to find his Xbox. He made it back.
What's up, JD?
PlayStation is here. What's up, dog?
What's up, TV?
Yeah, what's
Sorry
up?
about this. What's up? Good to see you, JD. Good to see you, everyone. As usual, we'll go around. Bet, what's up?
Not much. I was playing, obviously, some Garfield action this afternoon. I didn't have a huge amount of stuff today because Mini-Vet's got speech, and then I had Rock's show, so I was like, all right, let's play some Garfield. I know that everyone's playing Extraction. I don't really care for that because I know I'll end up getting pissed off because I die. So I would rage quit. So I said, screw it, I'm going to play an even better game than that. That's this, Garfield. Other than that, just watching I heard there was some news going around Twitter this week, but I've been too busy focused on Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Good Lord, do I love that game.
Nice. It's a great game. The Assassin's Creed series is lots of fun, lots of exploration, beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great series.
It is amazing.
What about you, Ray? What's up?
Well, I waited 9 o'clock Pacific time last night, and Luna had Extraction, and so as soon as it hit 9 o'clock, I played it. It played amazing, and then I waited till midnight to play Stadia, and then in the mornings I played GFN and I played XCloud.
Jesus, you've been all over the place.
What's the coolest thing is that my Ubisoft account or Ubisoft connection went through all the platforms, no issues. So I saved one place, jumped on another. Luna was amazing. The controller, you scared when you get attacked, the controller shakes. It was great. GFN, I mean, what can you say about the graphics, the quality, the ray tracing, folks? Just so you know that GFN does have ray tracing. The game is just amazing. I'll talk about later what I thought was the best, but that's what I've been doing. Extraction, and I think I'm gonna play some Windjammers tonight. That came out today.
Ooh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's on XCloud in the cloud.
Yes, it is. It's supposed to come out on another platform, but it didn't come out. But anyway, that's another story.
It kind of got jammed into wind, maybe, or
yeah.
Just by the way, you were talking about Extraction. If you have Xbox Game Pass and GeForce Now, if you go in the Game Pass app, you can click on the Extraction because it doesn't launch within Game Pass. It brings you to Ubisoft Connect. If you use the PC one, I mean, and it logs you in on your Ubisoft account. So it activates the game in your Ubisoft account, and you can actually use it on GeForce Now without paying. So if you got Game Pass, you got the game on GFN.
There you go.
I tried it today, so at no cost. Really awesome. JD, what's up, man? How's that Xbox doing?
Oh, it got canceled.
Oh.
It got canceled. That's what happened.
Went to the Xbox graveyard.
Right. Oh man, I'm doing good. Yeah, just PlayStation had their 2021 wrap up. What I had number one on there was Knockout City, man. A whole bunch of hours in that game, man. So
It did get up for some awards for the Game Awards.
yeah, it did. And the second one was like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. But yeah, so didn't do too much this week. Just been working. But yeah, just exciting stuff overall. Can't wait to get back on Destiny 2 and grind out for the Witch Queen. Picked up some exotics. Finally got all my exotic hand cannons. Collection is finished and complete because I'm a hand cannon fanatic in that game. So yeah.
Good stuff. And Maker, what's up with you, man?
Nothing much. Honestly, haven't been playing too many games as of late. Halo Infinite, I played a little bit of that new matchmaking type, which is pretty interesting. Kind of Gears of War with a little bit of battle royale-esque to it, where the zone closes in on you. So it's pretty cool. Other than that, I've been meaning to. I want to get into Hitman, but haven't as of late. It'll be my first time going through the series, and now that it's all on Game Pass, I can just go straight through all three. But yeah, that's about other than like Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, that's already a game that can keep you quite busy there. So
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. As for myself, I actually tried Extraction earlier today. I only did the the tutorial. Not sure yet if it's a game for me. I'll give it another try. I'll actually try some multiplayer and actually try the game. But I'm not sure if I'm getting into it. Other than that, yeah, I got the PlayStation highlight for the year. My first game was actually the Ratchet and Clank remake that they released in 2016. That they optimized for the PS5. I actually looped that game a few times before Rift Apart came out, and had 4 or 5 platinum trophies. So good stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much. I know I did do some gaming yesterday. Oh, Nobody Saves the World. I played that yesterday on the Xbox.
On the Xbox, nice.
Yeah, it's an indie game. Lots of fun. Reminds me of the Legend of Zelda game on the Super NES, like isometric view, and you're slashing around and collecting items and all that. Like the feel of the game, like the mechanics, a little bit of that, but you got leveling to do with your class, and it's a fun game. It's I wouldn't call it a masterpiece per se, but it's a fun game to get into, and it gets addictive to try to grind your levels. So lots of fun. So
I believe it's made by the same team that did Guacamelee.
Ah, nice.
Possible. It is possible. It's a small indie studio, but the game looks really good. The art style is nice. It's kind of funny, and no, it's a fun experience. I had a lot of fun playing it. So just looking at the chat real quick. So we got Dino Jacques.
What's going on?
What's up? Good to see you. And we got Vet and Ray active in the chat.
I just retweeted and retweeted again. So we should be getting some. I see some people checking it. So we'll get some people in here soon. You know how
viewers coming up.
You know how we do.
So we already covered the big news of the week, but it's still in development.
Wow,
there's a lot going on. So did you guys want to start with that, tackling subject concerning that, or is there something else you wanted to talk about first?
You could start with controversy, whatever. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention.
We're talking about the Activision Blizzard deal.
That's still controversial.
I mean, honestly,
I think JD's muted.
JD, you muted.
JD, we can't hear you.
Yeah, we
JD,
can pop
can you
off
hear
with
me?
that.
We can hear you.
We can pop off with that. We can pop off with controversy.
Well, Sony. What did they lose? Like 20 billion in the stock market.
That's chump change. I mean,
That's
I loaned them that, so
It's like
Well,
first
that's
of
chump
their
change
value or
here.
something.
Throw some of that over in my mug over here. I'll stand in front of the building and you just throw 20 billion in my cup. I'll be
Hey,
happy.
you have everything over there. What more do
Yeah,
you
what-
need?
what do you need? The Xbox Series?
You're in the country of the
I don't
sun.
have a stream deck, man. I need
California.
No, he doesn't have the Apple AR VR glasses either.
No,
So,
I
you know,
don't. No, I don't.
and he needs
What
the
are they gonna retail at
HoloLens.
like $2,999?
No.
He needs his HoloLens.
This is an S. I would love to have an X. Xbox Series.
I
X.
I would love to have any of those, and a PS5, but I don't.
Just drive down to your local market. You can get.
My local market.
The local
Series
market?
S, well,
What's the local market?
Up to 2
Oh, he
days
said
ago, the
local
Series
market. I
S
thought he
was
said
really
local.
easy to find.
What's
Yeah,
that,
up
Doctor?
to 2
I
days
know I'm
ago,
in
the Series S was easy to find. Now it might be a different story.
Well, he's go down to your local market. What am I? I know I live in the sticks, but damn, I ain't that far.
Hey, everybody, right now you can find your PS5 and your Xbox Series X down at your local market. Come on down.
General store where you can buy gas and your groceries.
Right.
Oh, no, that's
Bring your
awesome.
kids and your family. Woo, we got you.
Oh, we got a guest coming in today.
Uh-oh.
Let's give it up for Link. What's up, man?
Master Link, what's going on, buddy?
Link
What's going on,
in the
Link?
What's
building.
going on, everybody?
Link
What's going on,
TV, man.
Always regretting
Oh,
Khaos.
man,
Oh,
you should
yeah,
advertise that, dude. We got the great link in
Right.
here.
What?
That
What's all
was
these
uncertain,
surprises and no
man.
advertising?
No, this was relatively last minute. I think
Until
we
he
had a
realized
small
Bed was on
conversation.
here.
Yeah, then I
Thanks a lot for
questioned if I
coming.
should just not even show up at all. No, I'm just kidding. No, me and Doc were talking last night in regards to some of the stuff, and he had pitched the idea to hop on. And I said, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I'll see if I can do it. I got off work a little bit later than expected. I was hoping to get off earlier, but here I am.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Thanks for coming, man.
course.
So
Thank you.
everyone went around to say what's up with them. What's up with you, man? What have you been gaming lately? And anything happens?
As far as me, I've made a goal to try to finish 50 games by the end of the year on stream. It's probably something I can do. It's just a matter of what games and if I can fit the list of 50. But lately I've been doing the Fable series. Actually, I went back to Fable. It's one of my favorite games. So, and the difference between me and Vet is I actually finish games and don't yell. So it's definitely worth watching. No, I jest. But aside from that, yeah, no, getting back into the old Fable games has made me really appreciate a lot of the older
You were
titles.
screaming that. You were screaming that.
That's over on YouTube.
Yeah, you should.
Awesome.
I did want to say, as someone who beat a lot of games last year, I would like to supplement my big games with like little games in between. So like Game Pass was great for that too. So there's like a bunch of little games on Game Pass that I played, like in between Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy 15 and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, there's a few that I know I've made a list that are kind of like 1 to 2 days, and I know Fable, even though it's a series of like 3, they're relatively easy to complete in like a week. They don't take too much work.
That's
Whereas
good.
compared to nowadays, it's 40 hours at least for a game, or 30 hours at least.
500 hours.
500 hours. Yeah. You know what? I'm looking forward to that game, even with the 500 hours. Like, I am a completionist, not a hardcore completionist, but I'm definitely somebody who likes to take the time and do the side questing. And I mean, most of the people that know me, I'm very lore heavy. I enjoy lore in general when it comes to games. So if a show or if a game or anything has a good, strong storyline to it and just continues to grow, it's worth it for me, and I'll take the time to do it all.
I think they mentioned that it's very manageable to finish that game in like 35 hours. It's just if you want to do everything and complete every side missions and get all the collectibles, you're looking at around 500 hours. We actually haven't mentioned the name of the game. I'm drawing a blank. I know it's the second one of Dying Light. Dying Light 2.
Yeah, Dying Light 2.
Yeah. So, yeah, lots of games coming out these days. It's just crazy. And yeah, games are getting bigger and bigger. So, we were about to talk about, well, we started talking about PlayStation taking a bit of a dive on the stock market, losing $20 billion in value. So, not PlayStation, but Sony Corporation. So, who wants to pick that up? What do you think the impact will be on this?
Honestly, I think it'll be fine. I think this is just going to be a minor thing. Long-term wise, we still don't know what Sony's going to do. We still don't know how Spartacus is going to be laid out. I mean, we don't even know what Sony's plans are for the next couple years, other than the fact that Spartacus is coming. We got God of War. I wouldn't put it past Sony to just kind of like, well, looks like we're going down. I mean, there's still a lot of wiggle room here. We won't see anything from Activision Blizzard for a good while. So this is going to give plenty of time for at least Spartacus to kind of grow and showcase what it can be. Yes, Microsoft has Game Pass like in the lead, which I'm really hoping, and this is my personal opinion, I hope that Sony takes the same model and just implements it for their user base. It really is an ideal model when you look at it. And for everybody out there saying that Phil Spencer's losing out on money with it, I mean, you got to think about it in the long term. This is money well spent. This is continuing and returning members to the subscription service. If they can pull this off and still be third grossing company out there, Sony can easily do the same as long as they have those titles and continue to do the updates. No more of this. We don't know what Sony's doing. Well, Sony started doing this. Like, I've always felt that Sony and their fan base are very particular when it comes to stuff because they always want it so perfect, and Sony is just so traditional. If they can get out of that box, I think they have more than enough potential to hit the console. I don't want to say console wars, but they can hit that gaming field a lot stronger and better in their own way, the same way Xbox did it when Game Pass was a thing.
It's funny that you mentioned that because me and DrSpaceman actually had a conversation offline the last time, this Tuesday, and we was talking about kind of that Jim Ryan, this CEO, basically him being same way like Phil Spencer. He was there, then they put him head of Xbox, and it took him a while to get some W's up under his belt, and then to kind of change that whole trajectory that Xbox was on. It's the same thing happening with Jim Ryan right now, where he's able to kind of start changing the mindset. To your point, what you're talking about is hitting that, I guess, the general PR market that Sony is not really good at. Where Xbox is really, really good at stirring up their fan base, and Sony has always been more, like you said, just more, we're going to drop when we drop, and then everybody
they like to stay in the background, kind of like Nintendo. Nintendo's pretty much the same way.
It's not necessarily a background. It's just it's their safeguard. It's what they've always done.
It's always worked though.
Exactly.
So,
they only reveal
why
what
they
they
haven't
know
had
will be successful.
Right. Well, but what I'm saying is that style has worked for them for so long. That's why they don't see a need to change. Yeah. And they're gonna need. I agree with you. They need, like, maybe the Microsoft Activision deal. That's enough to push them to be like, all right, we need to do something. Maybe we do need to change a little bit, change our methods.
I do think Sony was already aware of the deal for quite a while now, because the Activision Blizzard, someone came forward and said they actually approached Microsoft in early November about this. they came with them to talk and opening the conversation about doing the purchase, and Microsoft jumped on the occasion. Uh, what they didn't reveal, though, and that it came out in the noise, is that part of that conversation was also EA. So it's possible that multiple companies were actually doing something to try to acquire him. My guess is they want to see the biggest players they believe would be suitable for taking over the reins, and they did a silent auction. So just take an envelope, put the offer in it. They open the envelope and see who's the highest bidder and who has the most interesting offer, and Microsoft won. I believe that's what happened, and that's why we're seeing such a disparity between Bethesda, which is a pretty sizable company. Like, it's not the size of Activision Blizzard, but it's not 1/10 of that company. Bethesda was very sizable. But then you look at Activision Blizzard, that's nearly $70 billion. They did something to drive that price up. So I would not be surprised to hear that they actually had a blind auction. Just write the price you think will win if you buy the company, and Microsoft just won the bet, and they got quite a hefty acquisition with that. So it's got to be worth the investment. They're going to make it on it easily. So
Yeah, no.
Anyway.
Phil for sure. I think Phil's got the mentality and the ingenuity to kind of like make the best out of really bad situations. Which, I mean, for me, look at how unfortunate Lionhead Studios and the title of Fable being lost, but now we're getting it back, gives an opportunity to have older IPs. And now the whole conversation that popped today with Phil Spencer wanting to pull a lot of the older IPs that Activision had, and it was a conversation I had with, I think it was Eddie, Ashes, and Kai in regards to being in a company that now has the resources and availability. The biggest thing being the availability to use these resources freely and justifiably to kind of start doing things differently. And I think that's where Microsoft definitely excels in. It gives the developers and studios a little bit more control on what they put out there. It may not be full control, but it definitely gives more of that visionary look from the studio to kind of progressively do things and change the next game and change the next game. I mean, how long have we been dealing with Call of Duty just being a reskin? I only hope that
I've lost track.
I only hope this gives the opportunity for them to kind of now experiment with things, because I know Sony has their reserves when it comes to spending money. Yes, that's just how they are. If it's going to be a huge success, they're willing to put into it, but it's a large gamble, and if it's not worth the gamble to them, they won't. Like, it's fair enough, and I completely get it. That's the safeguard that they have. But Microsoft knows if you're willing to listen and help along the way and give the feedback, there's definitely room for progress, and it's a win-win situation.
Right. Microsoft definitely knows, and that's why we saw it come out. You know, they was looking at The Last of Us 2. They was looking at how their competition does business, and they know they have to cultivate a culture around that, because they won't. The way they've been doing it, that's not going to get you nowhere. So they have to cultivate that synergy that Sony has with their PlayStation studios, all their studios working in synergy with each other to push out these games. And the difference is really just going to be, I think Sony, the best thing that they could have done at this point was respond with the Horizon Zero Dawn trailer, because that's what's coming out. It looks lovely. We know that's going to be, like their number one game, one of their number one games this year. And that's really all they could do at this time in response to that thing, to what Microsoft has done. And but yeah, they're just going to have to be competing on the quality level, and Sony has to learn from Microsoft. What they need to learn is just the PR, like the PR stuff.
Yeah, no,
I think Sony's really taken a couple hits with a few things. specifically the shift to $70 titles and like the additional fees for getting a PS5 version. Like that's just more chances where PER is just gonna take a hit. And in my opinion, they could easily just shape it around, because I think Sony's not hurting for money right now, but they're definitely going to feel threatened. And I think if they want to get on the good side, I think shifting away from the $70 titles would probably help them a lot.
Play Pass.
Yeah, definitely.
Play Pass. Sony goes down.
Who thought
Play
of that?
Pass.
Like that
Right.
makes no sense. Why you would raise it to $70? Like, just mind-boggling.
They were hitting record like revenue. To me, it doesn't make any sense why they would up it.
They wanted more money. Let's be real. That's what it was.
That's the thing, is we're seeing those different directions being taken, but what makes Game Pass possible? And that would never have been possible before, not just because we're now using a lot of digital purchases, but the market has grown so much, because you only need so much money for studios to be profitable, for a video game company to be profitable, but the demand keeps increasing. So what's going on is that instead of having like maybe 15, 20 million people that are buying a game, right now Game Pass, so the premium subscription at Xbox, Game Pass, has gone past 25 million. So I'm not talking about Game Pass Ultimate. They haven't specified how much is Ultimate, how much is just Game Pass Xbox or PC. But that subscription, which is a premium subscription, has passed 25 million players. That's not counting everyone who still buys their physical copies. There's a lot of people who are not subscribed to Game Pass because they absolutely want to buy every games they have and have the disc version. There's a lot of people who really need their discs, so that's even more money going to Xbox. So when you have that volume of gamers, you're just creating a big pool of money available to do projects with. So instead of just putting it into their pocket, right now Xbox, for the last 5 years, they're in building mode. They're trying to build something that will leave a legacy. So Phil Spencer has really spun things around. He arrived in about the worst period ever for Xbox. Like, Xbox 360 Red Ring of Death was a problem. The Xbox One, where it was when he came in, was worse. People were not interested in Xbox anymore. They lost interest. It was a TV box more than a gaming box. So he came in, saw there was a problem with the culture over at Xbox. He started shaping things up in something else. He came up with a Game Pass, and just putting more and more games. If they cross 100 million subscribers within 2-3 years, that amount of money is just that much more money they can use to get more game on the subscription. And they just say to a dev, okay, you're going to get 100 million people who are going to get access to your game, but what we're doing for you, just a small portion of the subscription, but the pool of money is so large that it actually pays for all your production and your next project that you're going to do with us. So you can bring your game over with us, and we'll just keep building a relationship with that. So you're building something that's humongous, that just keeps growing. And they could, in fact, I was looking at the numbers, like, if they reach over 150, 200 million subscribers, they could very easily drop the price of Game Pass. Everyone's talking about raising it. They could easily make it like a $10 or $12 subscription, and that would again raise the number of subscribers. And they would just gain more titles over time because the pool of money will go up as the number of subscribers go up. So Game Pass is a game changer. Mm-hmm. And Sony needs to get into that, or else they'll miss the train, literally.
Do you see Nintendo doing something down the road like that?
No.
I mean, they kind of have a little bit of a subscription.
Yeah, so they have their 64 stuff, which
Sega Genesis.
Yeah, they have somewhat of
still don't get over that one.
It's kind of like
Let me get my Nintendo out so I can play my Sega Genesis game. Sorry.
Well, I mean, you're a retro player, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
got Garfield
I mean,
in the
I'm
back,
okay
so-
with it, but but like, you know, the Game Pass model, it works because people, and Microsoft's going to continue doing that. That we know Microsoft is never going to stray away from that. Subscriptions are their future. The only thing they don't do as a subscription as a service is Windows, which they tried and failed. That particular one will never work, but as a whole, everything they do is freaking subscriptions. I mean, that's just the future of things, and gaming's going to be no different than that.
Yeah, I mean, we're in an era of that.
I said it on the last show, but look at all the marketing that they have, the brands. They've got Crash Bandicoot. They got Spyro. I mean, just clothes, hats, toys. I mean,
They'll make up the difference.
They're gonna
hands
make
down. They'll make the money back from that purchase without even having to, not even factoring the subscription cost into that. They'll make it back off the merchandise.
Just like Doctor said, the legacy. Like I told my son, like, son, when I'm dead, do you know, like in the future, like the end, like when it's 2030, and they're all these damn games.
You're going to be dead in 8 years?
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to die in 8 years?
What's going on, man?
Planning early.
Jesus, man. There's
Probably
something telling us.
2022.
Give yourself a little bit of leeway there, man. I mean,
Oh, man, come
8
on.
years, I understand we're going through COVID and all, but it's going to end.
His retirement plan is all made. He cannot go further than that.
He's probably giving him that because he is on 3 shows a week with me. That's probably what it is.
I mean, the future. Oh my God! Like years and years and now, just
VR.
just amazing.
VR, AR.
All the games
Exactly.
they have.
Well, look where we were like just 20 years ago, and then look at now. I mean, it's just, you see this evolution of gaming. And 5 years from now, we're not even going to be discussing this stuff. We're just going to be like, all right, we're not going to discuss, console versus cloud. It's just going to be gaming versus, what's Microsoft doing, what's Sony doing, what's Nintendo, it's no longer going to, it's just, they're all just going to merge into one. And it's just going to be, what are they doing?
It
The
won't be
funny thing
Game Pass
is-
anymore. It will be just games. Like, okay, I got my subscription to games.
Yeah. And you guys won't even see our faces on stream. It'll just be helmets that we'll be wearing.
Like Daft
As
Punk
we're all
helmets?
in VR.
Yeah, Daft Punk.
But yeah, and just like Nintendo, like you mentioned Nintendo, like nobody's bringing up Nintendo. Like Call of Duty's not even on Nintendo platform. That's one of the major casual games ever made is Call of Duty, and they're still striving and thriving. And I think,
Breath of the Wild.
yeah, Breath of the Wild.
It's because Nintendo kills it with those first party.
Yeah.
right, and same way with PlayStation first parties, right? And I think
I would say Nintendo's even stronger first party, like sales wise, than Sony.
I would agree with that. I mean, all you have to do is say the name Mario, and almost anybody that knows anything about gaming automatically know what that is.
right, they are stronger with that, but like what I'm saying is like they can continue to thrive. And I just saw the article just now where Sony or Phil Spencer talked to Sony and would talk to them about the Call of Duty franchise and stuff. And I think that would be a lot of legal ramification if Call of Duty or some of those games did not stay on the PlayStation or any other platform. If it didn't,
He's
come
not
to those
taking it
platforms.
off. That's just more money.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
more
more money lost.
It's more money.
I can see them keeping Warzone because that is the big Call of Duty moneymaker. Like the live service games, I could see them keeping on, but the story modes or the Cold War, Vanguard, stuff of that nature, I could see them shifting that more towards being exclusive to Xbox.
The wording they use, because they just had a call saying we're
They just said
keeping
Call of Duty.
on PlayStation,
They didn't say what.
but the wording every time it shows up, every time they reassure everyone that Call of Duty is staying on PlayStation. When I'm not talking about journalists, I'm talking about wording that keeps coming around. Activision, Phil Spencer, and like everyone that has their hands on this, there's always something weird about it. It feels like when Bethesda was purchased.
Right.
So at a moment they said every games that are on PlayStation are going to stay on PlayStation. Everything that's already signed for PlayStation will go to PlayStation, and then it just doesn't confirm the rest. So we might see more titles come out to PlayStation, but it's very possible, like Maker's saying, that Warzone stays on there, and that maybe another title they are already signed goes on there, and then that's it for PlayStation.
It depends on how they move their Call of Duty franchise too, right? And how they want to, like we discussed it. One of their companies they work on Call of Duty. The other companies are free to make other games. You know, we're yet to see what they're going to do with that franchise.
See, back then, back in the like 90s or like back in the days, it was vicious. You know, I think they would have went after each other's necks. I think it's changed. You know, they want competition. Back then, they were trying to destroy each other. Nintendo and Sega. They tried. I mean, they took out TurboGrafx 16. They didn't even allow that to get sold next to Nintendo in certain stores. So I don't know. Sometimes keeping good competition around, but if they really wanted to, they don't have to.
Yeah. And I mean that's a good way of saying it. If they don't want to, they don't have to. That's where Nintendo's at.
Right.
They don't want to be in part of the competition. They don't have to, and they've been doing perfectly fine with it. Their subscription service that they had for N64, yes, it got a little bit of hate on there, but ultimately, if you're a cult fan, the same as any other console out there, or even if you're a PC player to a specific franchise, if you are a cult fan, you will invest in it. And Nintendo has plenty of people that are willing to invest in their titles, in their subscription, even families that have kids, because they know they can share that experience with kids. The same thing with backwards compatibility when it came to all these other platforms.
Right.
Why PlayStation did it a little bit differently, don't know. Regardless, they're starting to get more on top of it, which I'm glad that that's kind of a thing for them. Took them a little while to get there, but they're making it happen. I'm looking forward to Spartacus bringing a lot more of that opportunity for a lot of people, because PlayStation has a huge legacy when it comes to a lot of their older titles. They're able to bring all that back. That's potential enough there to even continue doing more with Spartacus when it releases, to have more opportunity for these first party releases on there, timed exclusive stuff. But even in the end, I think the biggest thing is that, yes, competition brings more competition, and Xbox saw this as an opportunity to instill that even more. And I mean, it could have also just been a one-off thing to kind of throw it in Sony's face, but at the same time, I agree with the fact that this was a smart move. I think the only person worthy of picking this up would have been Microsoft. I think if Sony would have took this again, it would have gotten a little bit more backlash, because it would have just turned and looked like, okay, what did you do differently this time than last time? What's really going to change? But yeah, Microsoft had the opportunity to swoop this up, and I think it's good for everybody, both the consumers, both the dev teams, and the companies going head to head in this competition, because it's just going to instill more competition.
Loving Game Pass. Loving Game Pass.
I cancel.
He's all
you're a
cancel.
voting hater. That's why.
I canceled those.
thing-
Well, I didn't cancel. I just let it expire.
Eddie says bananas are yellow and mostly apples are red. That's what Phil said.
Stupid.
But the thing about Game Pass, that's why it's such a good thing right now, is that we're already at a moment that you can use it on your console, you can use it on your PC, you can use it in the cloud. The cloud still needs a lot of work in most areas, but in some places it works really well. So they're making, even if they're locking content behind their door is so wide and so open that it doesn't matter. So yeah, you might not be able to get your future titles on a PlayStation, but just look at this box. It is so affordable, and the performance on it is amazing. It's easy to buy, easy to find. You can get it really easily now.
Right.
It used to be kind of difficult to find them. but now they're pretty available.
Oh, my green screen blocks.
If you got a if you got a computer that's and
Yeah,
they
the
did drop
browser.
down performance.
I mean,
on
what
a
were
lot
you
of
even
games.
showing? What you wish you had, or no?
I was trying to show
pulled
up
up his
a
router.
PlayStation. It's my PlayStation 4 Pro that has a crap ton of dust.
I was gonna say you pulled up your router that looks kind of like a PS5.
I just got an Xbox skin on my router, so it looks like it's Xbox.
It's so funny. But yeah, I mean, I
can
agree with you.
Run the games. You can run the games on your PC if you live close enough to the servers. XCloud
Right.
runs well. They make their games available.
Only Ray.
Yeah, we know your XCloud works well for you, Ray. I'm not
Dude,
jealous
that
at all.
and when you put that enable a boost on it, the clarity boost on it, it just looks so sweet. But I actually did. But
I
you
call
know what?
fake news.
I did play Extraction on the cloud on my console, and it wasn't as great as the browser. So I just said the hell with it. I just downloaded it. It was like about 46 gigabytes. But and it looked, oh my god, I can't believe I just downloaded a new game, which I know damn well I mean, dude, I would have paid $40. Then another game would have came out that would have been like $50, $60. People, do you understand? Back in the days, I used to spend 200, 300 like a month on games. With this Game Pass, it has saved me so. Ray's trying to make what you said. Ray's trying to make people just no. I have saved so much money. This Game Pass is amazing, folks, because you can play the game, beat the game, and move on to another game. It's great.
Sounds like a console.
I played in my browser works great.
Do you use that cloud console?
Oh man.
How much storage space you got on that cloud console for downloads?
I am curious to see if Spartacus will take PS Now. If they do, I think that's going to be a huge one up. Just because I have used PS Now as their the cloud service stuff, and it actually works really damn well.
It is beautiful, Link. It is great.
Yeah. So
No. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no,
I
go
was
for
gonna
it.
say I put it on par with Stadia and Luna. Like if you take away like okay, Stadia has 4K and this and that, but just like put it at 1080p. Look at the stability of the stream, picture quality, latency wise, how it performs. I easily put it on par with Stadia and Luna.
Yeah.
And that's the service that everyone keeps saying that it's the trash, it's the worst service there is.
Oh,
it doesn't
God,
work
no.
well. People haven't been using it a long time because 1 year ago I went back on PlayStation Now. It was already upgraded at 1080p, even though they only confirmed it around June or July. It was
Yeah, I
already
think
running
so.
1080p over at my place. I think they just upgraded it by areas, and I got the upgrade before a bunch of people, and it ran fantastic. And I streamed it, and I remember people coming to my stream. It's like, wait a minute, boot up PlayStation Now on their side. It's like me, it's 720p, and it looks like trash. And they're looking my stream, so I'm streaming a game that I'm streaming back on YouTube because I was on YouTube back then. It's like my stream looked better than the performance they were having at home. So experience wasn't the same everywhere. They've done a big upgrade. They did their work, and that's in preparation possibly for what's coming down the road with Spartacus.
Yeah.
Sony's an amazing company, folks. Don't forget. I mean, they got a library of some of the best award-winning, beautiful games. So, like I said, don't count them out.
I mean,
Like-
everybody's
like
talking
JD.
trash. Everybody's
Like
talking
JD.
trash about Miles Morales being an expansion, but it was the number one game of last year.
I mean, I
It
was
was
talking
too
trash
short,
about
man.
it.
Best
They
selling
coulda
game
added
of
like-
last year is an
It
expansion
was too
pack.
short
Come
of a
on.
game.
I was talking trash about it.
It was a bit
I never
short,
liked
but
it.
it was a really good game.
Did you even play it?
No.
Exactly. Sit down. Sit down.
Yes.
But there's only one worry I have about PS Now is that if they add it onto Spartacus,
I want it now.
if you have to pay that premium tier to get it, because right now I don't have PS Plus subbed. I just have PS Now. So for me, it would be more expensive to get it if it is that premium tier.
I would still pay it if it's a premium tier for all of that. It's still worth it in my opinion. Just with the sheer, I mean, you think what PlayStation Now has already is what, like 800 plus games, and then you add all of the other stuff that you, and you add all of the other content that they're talking about with the PlayStation 3, the PS2, PSP, or whatever. You know, you're just expanding on the content of what you can play. It's a win for gamers.
I'll throw this out there in a comparison. If, and it's a big if, I don't think it will happen, if PS Now offered the ability for you to use the backwards compatibility on a good portion, not all of them, let's just throw a rough estimation of about 30%. Say 30% of the games backwards compatibility that they have available, would that still be worth a small premium increase, whether it be $5 to $10?
I think so.
And with an increasingly growing library, as well as offering those some of those first-party games on there, because that's going to be the delivery that I'm hoping for as a consumer.
Holtz, Miles Morales was such a great story and well worth the experience. I would only want the cheapest tier with the PS5 minus the online.
You cheapskate, Holtz.
What's going on, Kelly? What's going on?
Yeah, if they do offer day and date titles on it, yeah, I'm probably gonna sub to that premium tier. But currently, I'm mostly using PS Now to play through some of the games. Like Horizon Zero Dawn is one that I'm playing through because the sequel's coming up. Yeah, and I didn't want to keep going into my living room to go play it, so I was like, I'm just gonna get PS Now, play it on my PC.
JD's gonna be like, that's what remote plays for. He's gonna be like, that's what remote plays for. Why don't you just do that?
Yeah, I should just use remote play. But they need to bundle everything together.
So I understand. Yes, I do the same thing.
They need to put everything together. Remote play, backwards compatible. I want a week like
if they all had it all bundled into one, that'd be real nice. One nice app.
It depends on the pricing. Yeah. Hopefully they stay under the $20 bar. Like to get everything, like the big plan, because that's something we have to be careful about. That Sony needs to be careful about, because it wasn't that long ago. PlayStation Now was really expensive.
Well, I don't think it'll get too expensive, because remember we've seen what happens when gaming companies like to jack prices up. The gaming community backlash comes out in full force, and then they backtrack. Xbox suffered that fate. Sony suffered the same fate. I mean, you piss off the community, they end up backtracking. So I don't see that it would be like a massive price hike for a high pricing, the biggest tier, whatever it's going to be.
I'm trying to think now, because what's the pricing right now for PS Now?
10 a month, isn't it?
10?
All right, it's even less than that.
You got less than that. It's like you can get a year for like $60.
Yeah, it's like 70 or $60 for a year.
$60 for the year. I mean,
so it's like a standard online subscription that you would pay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that's not including
obviously right now.
Yeah, that's strictly just the online service for the PS Now.
Right.
Yep.
Now you have also the online service itself, which is PS Plus, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, which you usually can buy on City Keys for like $40 a year or something like that.
Yeah. So
but
that one
if you just look at the price, is $60. It's the same price.
Yeah, standard 60 for a year on cloud-based, 60 a year online console-based. So, I mean, they could probably easily walk away with making it the same price as what Game Pass is doing Ultimate, which is the 15, almost $20. I mean, is that an affordable price, do you think, for a full all-in-one?
I think
it depends on what titles they offer,
exactly.
in my opinion.
Yeah. The games. It comes down to the games.
If they pull an
Well, yeah.
Xbox where you can play it on both your console, PC, or cloud, that would be great. But I don't know how they're gonna pull it off.
It'll be difficult now because we've already seen how the model works. Now you just have a company coming into that model, so I guarantee give it time, and I would see it well worth more than the dollar amount. It's going to be another Game Pass. It's
Yeah, I hope so.
I really do hope, and that's potential for Sony to just pick up where they left off originally and try to pull back that community, because I mean they have diehard fans, and most of the time they really shoot them in the foot.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at the fans; they bitch and moan about a $70 game, but they're doing that while they're in line buying that game. So regardless of what the price is, they complain that, yeah, it sucks that the game's got up to $70, but they're still buying them, and that's why Sony does this stuff. The more you complain, that's one thing, but you're still buying the games. They're just like, all right, well, go complain away. We're still gonna stick to our business model.
But when you see Major League Baseball, the show on Game Pass, and you standing in the line,
that was the icing on the cake for me.
You're like, what?
That was a slap in the face to every Sony fan out there.
I'm sorry. Does Vet work for Sony? Because he literally sounds the same as Sony. Doesn't he get mad at games but still plays games? That make him mad?
I bitch and complain about Madden every year, and I still buy the damn game.
So you are one of those people. You do work for Sony.
I got a contract with Sony, EA, a few others.
He has a whole logo. It just
Microsoft bought me out too.
Catch him on a given day. He'll have a different logo behind him.
One of the indicators of why I think they're going to go affordable for the Spartacus premium plan is I keep referring back to that interview, but Jim Ryan not too long ago did an interview with, was it Game Informer? I can't remember. I have to go back and find that interview.
Probably Game Biz.
Yeah, Game Biz or Game Informer. And in that interview, he talks about what he's seeing for the future of PlayStation, and he's trying to get the service. Like he mentioned that PlayStation, in his story of selling console, has always capped at around 35 to 40 million active users. Even if they went past like 100 million consoles sold for the PS2, it's a lot of them, like, people would buy it and just buy one or two games and never buy anything else. And it always came back to 35 to 40 million active users for the consoles. He wants to break away from that and reach hundreds of millions of users in the PlayStation ecosystem. And that's why he said they're bringing up PC ports for the games, so that those buying those PC games are considered part of the PlayStation ecosystem. But he was alluding to something else that would be available, like on the mobile market and stuff like that. So most likely, cloud gaming subscriptions are entailed into this. If he wants to reach those hundreds of millions of subscribers, there's no choice. You have to look at markets like India, like South America, like those countries where and continents where average income is much lower. People generally will buy an older console because they can't afford the new ones, and they'll only buy like their top games that they want. If they want to reach those people with the subscription services, it needs to be affordable. And they can't really price it different from over here in North America. There might be a slight difference, but it has to be within the ballpark of the same price. So that's why I think it might still be affordable. We might be looking at a price similar to Game Pass Ultimate for the big Spartacus plan. So once that comes
hopefully, fingers crossed that it does. I really wish it does, and I think it's more the sake of the consumers getting a better footing with the console. I think they really need to start appealing a little bit more towards the consumer side when it comes to this stuff, and kind of get out of that traditional box that they're in.
And personally, I give it 1 year or two, I'm fairly sure the price of Game Pass Ultimate will drop down as the number of subscribers will go
I
up.
I don't think it's gonna go down. I think it's gonna stay the same.
Man, if I spend $70 billion, I'm going up $1. I'm going up $1.
I think they're gonna slowly increase the cost, but I don't think it's going to be so fast. I think give it a year and a half to 2 years, then maybe.
Yeah.
Facts.
There you go, Eddie.
Facts.
Right here.
Facts.
It'll go up for sure, but I think what they're gonna wait for is to see how this Activision Blizzard stuff is gonna pan out, and two, the stuff with Ubi, and how it is right now. They're gonna try to figure out the interactions with it. Is it worth adding the extra money? I mean, honestly, for what it's worth, where we're looking at it now, I can easily see the service with later down the road saying that xCloud works, that UB, EA titles are all integrated with the Game Pass in a sense, and you have the first titles and stuff from Activision and Blizzard easily around $20 to $25, and having it all accessible. Yeah,
I would pay for that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a problem for that.
I also think that they're going to have tiers similar to how Netflix has their own tiers, where there's standard def. Obviously there's already a tier system with PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass, and then Ultimate.
Yeah,
So,
I would see regular Game Pass hitting at least 15, with Ultimate being at around 20 to 25, and it makes sense. It would make sense 100%. By then,
and it would be a decent price.
Yeah.
It wouldn't because they're trying to go for a high number of subscribers. They mentioned they want hundreds of millions of subscribers. If you hit 150 million subscribers, yes, your infrastructure will be more expensive because you'll need to maintain more servers to be able to handle that load of gamers that are going to be playing on your service. But that's a minor cost considering like all the license that you have for the games and everything. Like compared to when you have a smaller player scale, the pool of players, then you have to invest a lot for all those servers, and you have a low percentage of players that are occupying those. But if the number just keeps going up, you just add on the rigs. It's minimizing the investment you need for that hardware and those IPs. Like if you're paying for a game to be developed, like we're talking about Activision costs $70 billion right now, with Game Pass at 25 million subscribers. Once they reach 50 million subscribers, the price they will have paid for Activision Blizzard will not go up to $140 billion. It's still $70 billion. Those costs for acquiring studios, for developing games, stay kind of fixed. So even if you got more studios, if your player base keeps going up, you're just sharing the cost of everything among your player base. So if you go from 25 million subscribers to 150 million, like when they open India, when they open Brazil, like it's already open right now, but in very limited factor. But once they fix their cloud gaming, that it really works well, and it start opening up in those countries, and that people really get into it because it's an awesome plan, it will sell like. It'll take fire, like it'll just blow up, and those numbers will increase, and it'll be that much money they have to make everything.
Right, I agree with that because Jim Ryan has said, he has gone on to say, we have had this conversation before. We are not going to go down the road of putting new releases into a subscription model. These games cost many millions of dollars, well over $100 million to develop. We just don't see that as sustainable. So putting these into a subscription model on day one for us just doesn't make sense. For others in a different situation, it might well make sense, but for us it doesn't. We want to expand and grow our existing ecosystem, and putting games in a subscription model day one doesn't sit well with that. And to your point, DrSpaceman, I think they're both, Microsoft and Sony are kind of looking at evaluating what makes sense to them when it comes to the Game Pass subscription. It's not to say that Game Pass isn't successful or making money, but how much money and what are they look? What does Microsoft count as success to them? Is it having an active player base of many people, just having access to their service of games, and that's successful to them, even if they're losing some taking some type of loss?
I wanted to point out, I think Xbox is trying to hit a specific amount of users. Like, look at Netflix. Once you have a specific amount of users through user acquisition phase, then you start to slowly up the costs of your service to try and make back more money. But in your part about how are they going to make up this money, look at the fastest way to make money in the industry, and that's microtransactions, which are in just about every video game at this point. And that's the difference I feel is look at Fortnite, look at Warzone, look all these, even the free mobile games are making buttloads more money than any, I would say, any of Sony's titles, and that showcases that access is more important than that high cost for those games. And in my opinion, I think that Sony thinking really archaic, and I think that's why Game Pass is so profitable. It's going to be so profitable for Xbox in the long run.
Yeah, you make a good point, Maker, because you make a good point because we talked about crypto. We talked about metaverse, like that was the wording that they was using. Microsoft purchasing Activision and Blizzard is for the meta transaction. So I do agree to that point that they're going to make a lot of money. It's not going to be like the way we know VC right now. It's going to be something different, and they can make money on the back end.
Maybe we'll see Sony end up buying out EA.
That
Look at Ray's face.
Don't act like it couldn't happen. I mean, I just can't watch it because I was waiting to see somebody shoot the idea down. I'm just saying, EA. There's already talk swirling through that EA is the next one on the chopping block to get bought out.
Man, Microsoft is the big pimp right now. I'd be going to Microsoft, man, because that's one thing. What is big with gamers?
EA is valued sports. But though the thing is
sports,
but not just they've got the sports, but there's also the Sims, Apex Legends, Star Wars games. They're valued at right now. I think what I saw was $38 billion. So obviously, that's like chump change to Microsoft, but Amazon, there's theories that it could, Amazon, Apple, Google, even Netflix could be potential suitors, but I would not count out Sony from potentially going after that to try to bolster their. You shake your head no, but did you expect Microsoft to drop $68 billion to buy out Activision? Nobody saw that coming either. So
right now,
we can't work for Sony, huh?
nothing is off the table.
Let's go,
right
Vet. Let's go.
Acquisition.
Vet.
I would say I think
I don't see it. All right.
I don't see the EA purchase through Xbox for sure, because I think Xbox needs to work on their Eastern outreach more than anything. Activision Blizzard would be really good for, like, Activision specifically with Call of Duty for like the Americas and Europe, but like, what about like Chinese developers? Those would be really good for Microsoft, and probably not cost them near as much as like an EA.
I agree.
They do have a strong partnership with Sega. As far as if they would acquire them, I totally don't know. It would make sense, but they don't need to, because since the first Xbox, they went strong with Sega, and they had a very strong partnership since then. So it's a bit similar to PlayStation with Square Enix. PlayStation don't need to buy Square Enix. They're getting a lot of hot exclusives from Square Enix as second party studio almost. Like, Square Enix is right at home with Sony. Like, okay, they do a lot of partnership with Nintendo as well, but Sony has a very strong bond with Square Enix. Just look at Final Fantasy 14. That's still exclusive to the PlayStation right now.
Final Fantasy 16 is going to be.
They've had a long going relationship with them for years, so I don't see Square Enix drifting at all from that. So I mean, they have that going for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantasy
What about
VII
what about
Remake's not even
Capcom?
on the Xbox still? Like,
Capcom
Sony-
would go Sony's side, not
Yeah.
Xbox.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I mean,
Street
Just saying,
Capcom
when-
is pretty tight with Sony, and they don't sell well on Xbox at all, in general. I just wanted to answer this question here, Caliphate asking, do you guys think Call of Duty will join the Game Pass? It's pretty much confirmed already. It's been in the when they made the announcement, they said every single game that makes sense for them to bring to Game Pass will go to Game Pass.
Yep.
How that limits it up, World of Warcraft doesn't make sense to put it on Game Pass as a subscription. We could, though, see all of the expansions go to Game Pass. That might happen. Game Pass for PC, you get World of Warcraft, all the expansions, but the subscription will remain a separate model. You have games like Candy Crush and all the mobile games. You might see perks on Game Pass for those, like some free tokens and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it will still be a separate entity. So.
Yeah.
That's what they meant by anything that doesn't make sense to go to Game Pass. That's where it kind of limits it. So 100% Call of Duty will, well, I don't want to say 100%, but it's pretty much confirmed that it will go on Game Pass.
I'm just, but what's a good way to compete with that?
Wait, hold on.
Sony
Sony has
bu-
to say something. Sony has to say something. Hold on.
So I'm just saying, Sony. Shut.
let's go, vet. Let's go get them.
Sony buying EA gives them what's the one game that was on the PlayStation back in the day? Medal of Honor. That was made by EA. It's another way to compensate the same bullshit Call of Duty game you get. You're spending $60 every year for. They're not doing anything different. They just slap a label. It's just like Madden. Let's update the roster and boom. Sell it for $60, $70. There you guys go. You got a new Madden.
How much did Microsoft spend for Rare?
Oh, I don't even
Not
know
much.
how much there was.
It
It wasn't that much though.
It wasn't that much.
I'm not even sure if it's under $1 billion. I think it was in the
Yeah.
millions.
Yeah, I think
It was
a couple
billions.
It's like chump change.
Yeah.
million. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with that, guys, I do have to go because I do have to eat.
He's got to go get some
Appreciate
shares of
I've
Sony.
never
some
let
Sony-
them
Get some
Oh,
Sony
no.
shares.
Yeah.
shares.
Now that it's dropping, I gotta go buy my shares, just like Jimmy. Come back. No, I
Thank
really
you so much,
appreciate it,
Link,
guys.
for coming by.
Right,
No,
thank you.
thank you. You guys have a good one.
All right,
You do the
Link.
same.
Awesome. Thank you very much for
Yeah,
joining.
Link
us. Have a good one.
TV,
And just
everybody.
say, where can people find you?
On the internet. No, I'm just kidding. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at what is it? Link TV Gaming. I don't even remember myself anymore. It's been a long day. Link TV Gaming. You can also find me on YouTube with the same tag.
Not to be confused with the Link from Zelda. Just
Oh, yeah.
come on, stop.
I came first. No, I'm just kidding. All right, take care,
Shush.
guys.
We'll get Nintendo mad at us.
Thank you.
right.
Link. Thank
Take
you
care.
very much.
Yeah, man. They purchased Rare for $375 million.
I looked up this
Hold
one.
on, let's see. Is that it?
What is this
Yeah,
nonsense? Vet's name has now been changed to Sony Forever. What the
Sony forever. Yeah.
Sony Forever Gaming.
I'm just telling you, I could see Sony doing it. Hell, I could see Sony dropping some money and buying out Ubisoft.
Whatever doctor says, I'll believe him. Sorry. It usually comes.
Well, I made my prediction on
All right.
another cloud gaming
All right.
company, and when that happens, I'm gonna be trolling everybody. I'm gonna
That
be
is-
banned from so many people.
What Eddie is Eddie is saying here, and I wanted to bring that up, and we've been busy jumping from one subject to another. Call of Duty no longer being a yearly release is such an excellent thing, but it also brings up something else about that acquisition, why it's so good for Activision Blizzard. They are now first-party studios. A first-party studio and a third-party studio is totally different mentality. Third-party studio, you have to produce. You have to get a product out the door. If not, you're not making money, and your business will close. So they're always under extreme pressure. That's why you hear companies like even CD Projekt Red were renting that they don't do crunch, they don't do that kind of stuff. They had trouble. They had to do crunch. They were under heavy pressure. They took a financial hit with the game. If you look at a first party studio, on the other hand, they have to make a quality product. Their pressure is to release a quality product if as soon as possible, but it has to be a good quality product that will bring people to the ecosystem, to your platform. So it's quality first. You have to make sure that everything plays well, that it's entertaining. Like, it's not the same approach. At the end, yeah, the point is to sell your games, to make good games that are selling, but the approach is not the same, and the mentality behind it is not at all the same. So in general, you see studios who are first party studios do better because they can focus on one platform and that's it, and they don't have the same amount of pressure of like, we're going to shut down if we don't deliver the game. No, like, we have to meet the quotas and everything, but we have the support of the studio, because even if the game doesn't do that well, it's part of the offering the platform has, and the platform is making money on every single game that it's selling. So yeah, it's for Activision Blizzard, that means making good Call of Duty games that are going to be quality games. I can see like still pushing some titles to PlayStation, absolutely, but I can easily see them make once in a while a Xbox exclusive Call of Duty to bring people to Game Pass in the fold.
Yeah, and I was just looking at it. Sorry, thought
No problem.
It is just Deviation Games, right? I think Sony's take was on the multiplayer was like they're trying to bring the story mode aspect to a higher quality. I think there's just a way, as gamers, we want everybody to operate in the same manner initially. If company A is doing this, then company B should be doing that. I think there's a way where all three companies, well, however many companies, I'm thinking about the video and everything, however many companies, I think there's a way for coexistence where the models aren't copycats of each other. You get what I mean? Like, Nintendo is thriving in their own little ecosystem, and as much as hardcore gamers dislike it, they
nailed
are
those
still
kids
thriving.
games,
Right?
those family games. Yep.
Yeah, they're still thriving, right? They're not doing the model. I think when we allow space and allow room for companies to just do that, whatever the games are, there's going to be games, right? We know that Microsoft got all these games. They're going to be some great, amazing games. You know that PlayStation is going to have some games, but they're just going about the model in a different fashion. But, you know, I think if we just sit back as gamers and just let them do their thing, I think all companies are in a healthy position because competition is at an all-time high.
Yep.
Interesting. We're in a new age of gaming.
Definitely.
So,
Yep.
just need to verify something. Has there been any new post today by because okay, don't get angry, but Stadia has been very silent lately.
Here we go, guys. It's the Beat Up on Stadia segment.
What?
No, it's talk the
Nope.
truth about Stadia segment.
No,
Let's tell it.
nobody's beaten up. We're just speaking the truth. Are you trying to silence the truth?
Yeah, they haven't tweeted in
No,
6
but
days.
seriously, folks. Wait a minute.
An email from him, like,
what's the
several
girl
weeks
that's
ago.
the manager? Shaka?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder if she's out for the week or something.
That person doesn't work for them anymore. They got promoted to another position within Google Cloud.
Shut up, Dad.
I'm surprised they haven't hired a new community manager to replace Grace.
Because
Yeah, I
Shaka
thought
took
they
over, but then
did.
she got bought by Sony.
They
I
did.
thought
They hired it.
Will you shut the fuck up?
Shaka wasn't there to replace Grace. She was complimenting the team.
By doing
Yeah.
what?
No,
What
there was
did they
somebody that
do?
replaced.
But here's the thing. We're looking at
GFN
Stadia's
Fenway.
Twitter account right now.
Shut up.
Sweep
the leg.
There's the latest tweet was on the 14th, and it was an advertising for Rainbow Six Extraction. I'm multiplat. Well, I do PlayStation,
I'm multi-platinum.
Xbox, GFN, and
Hey, I played PUBG on Stadia not too long ago.
I don't know the last time I played
and your
Stadia.
name was GFN forever, Mr. Chaos.
But yeah, the latest actual post from Stadia that's not just videos for games that are coming out that are just like normal advertising, like the community post, was on the 11th. So that's a while ago.
It's only the 20th.
No, come on now. Just, it's okay to talk, criticize or critique them.
No, you're
They've only
not.
got one-
You're being toxic.
The
Oh my
problem I
God.
have
Get
is
out. Go back to Twitter.
Their
You
last,
go to Twitter
their
and take that
their
nonsense.
last
Hey,
blog,
get out of my house.
Look, their last blog post said, as we kick things into gear this year. So they're kicking things into gear, so.
They ain't
Yeah,
doing
The
they-
gears
what
ain't got turning
Yeah,
yet.
you know what? They're kicking some into gear, and it sure as hell ain't that. They're
I
just
saw, I posted something that Porter John, I put it in the private. He posted it, and it's honestly, it's. I mean, you should click on it and show it. I put it in our private chat, but it's really honest, the truth, and a lot of people. I mean, time to start asking for better. It's okay to be a fan of a platform, but if you let things like this slide, then things like this happens. No social post in 5 days, no game release in 20 days, no pre-order games in 12 days. Even Bryant from the Nerf Report even says something as well on Twitter. So, and this is not making, you guys know I play Stadia, I stream Stadia, but these are just the facts, like, what's going on, like, it's just silence.
People are
right now.
worried.
And then you had somebody posted all the company Extraction came out, and all the companies tweeted it out today. There's nothing from Stadia today about Extraction, and that's a huge game.
Even a retweet of their old advertisement for it would have
It
been.
has been 28 days since a game launch on Google Stadia. When Rainbow Six Extraction launches this week, it will mark 30 days since the last game, Jackbox Party Pack 6, launched for the platform. And so, and this is, I mean, and Brian, he's a well-respected game journalist.
There's another part here that's really worth reading. Technically, Far Cry DLC count as a game. Would love to see Stadia do better. I mean, for what it is worth, Xbox has launched 21 games in 2022. PlayStation has launched 28 games in 2022. Nintendo has launched 75 games in 2022. That's 2 days ago that it was posted.
Nintendo, king of content, baby, king of content.
Yeah, maybe
Stadia promoted Rainbow Six Extraction January 14th. For pre-order.
Why do you sound so depressed when you say it, though? It's just like, if it was a Sony fan,
I was trying to laugh. I was trying not to laugh.
You came out so sad, though.
I was trying not to laugh.
It's like a eulogy.
If you look at the pre-order list for games, there's
they still have one.
Life is Strange.
Stop hating, man. Do you know there's companies that watch us and they see what an asshole you are? They're like, damn, don't talk about the product like that, man.
Yeah,
you're being mean.
I know they see me and they're like, damn, we need to hire him for more shit.
No,
that's why
on
they hired him, folks.
On February 1st is the last title that's on the pre-order list on Stadia is for Life is Strange, and that's a game that was delayed. So it's not even supposed to be on February 1st. So if it wasn't for that, right now there would be no pre-order list for Stadia.
Windjammers 2 is delayed for Stadia, so that didn't come out today. So it's sad to see, because I was hoping that we'd start to see Stadia pick up at this time. Even if it's following the trend of last year, where you're seeing a lot of titles either come to the platform late or with a lack of support, like Dirt 5.
We still have what is it? Death Carnival. We have the Sky
Climbers.
There's also Fire Commander. There's Zorro.
You have indie.
I love playing those games when they come out.
Hold on. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it real.
So you're talking indie games. If we're talking, hear me out.
Where's the AAA games? God
Hear me out though. You're talking Death Carnival and some of these. So your Stadia's going to get Death Carnival and some of this whatever. Some of these other things that are barely anybody's going to play. That'll probably all be free because they'll go to Pro. But then you look at PlayStation. PlayStation's going to be like, here, have God of War, have all these big ass games that everybody wants, and then Xbox can be like, here, let's throw out these games as well. And then Nintendo's going to be like, here's another Mario game. Have a Mario Tennis. And then and how do you compare the value? Developers that make games, they look at for a user base. They're not going to look at Stadia and bring these big ass games because
ban them. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But
sorry, go ahead.
The thing that right now is worrying is that even if it just happened so that Stadia was not advertising any of the stuff, and they actually have a great year ahead, what they're projecting right now is not reassuring for the player base. It's not reassuring for anyone. Nobody knows if they're going to get their favorite games on Stadia. Nobody knows what's coming. Nobody knows if something is coming other than a few games like Death Carnival and some other indie games that you were talking about. We don't have information on what's coming and if it's coming.
They asked for 3 wishes. I think they're working on those wishes right now. That's why they're quiet right now.
I asked for PlayStation 5, an Xbox Series X, and a Nintendo Switch.
What did you want?
That's what I was honest. They asked me what I wanted. I said I want
right now, Vet.
Well, they better be getting me. They better send it to the right damn house.
And the number one wish that people were asking about was hearing about the AAA game. So hopefully,
and look what their response was. That's what their response was. Silence.
On it.
WWE 2K22 just got announced as well, and that is not slated. Well, it's not shown to be coming to Stadia.
Look real hard,
as well.
you can see a Stadia logo. It's
if you squint your eyes
from one of the wrestlers.
Squint your eyes, and if you Photoshop it on there, you can just Photoshop the logo on there and make everybody happy.
Guys are GFN. I'm telling you, man.
I think
somebody got to come out and say something.
So what I think is happening right now is they're debating about, do they need to merge the platform onto another service, or are they going to double down and make this a commercial product? And we're gonna see this probably February and March when the financial statements start coming out with Google, because that's when, right now that's probably what they're doing, is they're analyzing their financial statements. Are they making money off of this? What's their growth? What are their active users? Is this salvageable, or should we try and shift things around? And I'm hoping to God that they double down on the platform. They put money into the platform, and
JD
really
knows what's up.
Get some great games. Get some advertisement done. Like, show up at E3.
They need
show up at Games Fest.
Good Lord, they need to just advertise. If you're a gaming company and you're not doing anything, if you wanted to be in the gaming industry and you have failed miserably, you've started off the new year with a bang, and that's right, because they shot themselves and said, we're done.
In the foot. Oh,
no, they done shot themselves somewhere else, because silence is key. That's the key right there, is that there's dead silence.
Next platform. Jesus, you
No, we
beat
gotta
up.
talk. We
You
gotta
beat
talk
up
about.
on
Google-
Stadia
Wait,
enough.
hold up.
No,
Next
Shut up,
platform.
next platform.
We
No, we
are,
gotta talk
Ray.
about this.
We are.
No,
We
no.
are. We're going to Google Play Games for PC
hold on.
with your cloud gaming.
Hold on.
Google Play
Look.
Cloud.
Look, so
Go
Digital
Play.
Foundry just did their tests and against Stadia, GeForce Now, and xCloud. And obviously GeForce Now came out on top.
Well, that's obvious.
It actually came ahead of the Xbox Series X local.
Yes.
GFN paid him.
Well, if they did, I want to know where my check went.
They got the equipment for from NVIDIA, folks.
You're gonna start rumors.
He ain't starting anything. The rumors have already been. The conspiracy theorists are already out there spreading conspiracy theories about me getting bought out. I just asked the simple question: where's my check at?
Did you get two laptops?
I don't know anything about this. I'm just kidding. I did.
But the latency difference, yeah, I mean,
Right.
it's pretty substantial. And the Stadia is keeping to their word about upgrading their tech in the background. They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to upgrade their tech, and they're gonna have to get these games on their platform.
Is that what they're doing? Maybe they're working on the tech, and then the games come later. Is that what it is? They're like. Is that why it's silent?
What they're doing?
Are they working on? I mean,
If they're doing that though, they're gonna the silent. Even it doesn't matter if they're working on tech in the background. They're not saying anything. There's nothing which is gonna hurt them. It doesn't matter. Developers are watching. Nobody's gonna want to bring shit over when you start losing. Your fan base starts dwindling because you're just a glorified indie platform for a place for indie developers. You may as well shove the service onto Google Play Games and just put another tab on your Android phone that says Cloud Gaming.
I wanted to say the difference between Wii U, Xbox, PS Vita all failing is that they had successful consoles prior. This is their first
the
jump
Wii-
to a gaming.
Oh, what are you talking? The Wii U was almost killed. The Wii U almost killed Nintendo. That was their worst product. That thing almost killed them.
If Switch didn't succeed, they were
the next Sega. I mean, we're seeing who the next Sega is right now. Just in the cloud.
You can't see them; they're in the cloud. You can't.
I know they've already vanished.
And I wouldn't even say the Xbox 360
120 FPS
failed either.
Talk that they were bringing us.
Xbox 360 was not a failure. They actually.
How many? Well, that's because you kept buying new ones. It wasn't a failure because they made their money.
They made it.
I bought 5 of them.
Yes, that is how they made their money. Everybody they knew damn well there was no fix for that Red Ring of Death. That was on purpose. They did that purposely so everybody would continue investing in that shit.
I would say, don't you dare compare them to the Legends.
Well,
I didn't see any names.
More. GFN as a market, Xbox Game Pass, xCloud as a market, PlayStation's Particles have a market, Switch has a market, hell, even Luna and Amazon Prime subscribers. Where does Stadia fit in?
Native.
Google Play. Google Play Games. I'm telling you, Google Play Games is where you're going to see a transition. All right, I did love the Dreamcast was the shit keeper.
It's natively like DrSpaceman was like we talked about last time. A big pile.
I thought he was setting something up for like a positive comment, and then nope, I shouldn't have expected that.
Oh man. Where you
walked right into that.
Stadia has a market if they can convince developers to create games in the cloud and have the native.
They ain't
app.
convincing anybody though,
except for Ubisoft, I guess. But,
yeah. that's gonna be it.
They need some big exclusive titles to pull people in. Look at Xbox; they made a splash with Halo, and since then they've become a name brand in gaming. So. They need something that says Stadia.
God, look! Can we move on to another platform, please? All right. Move
But,
on.
okay,
Now,
I'm
this is
moving
supposed to
from
be
Stadia to
professional.
cloud
Come
gaming
on,
in
dude.
general.
This
Come
is
on,
turning
team.
into a damn. Just come on.
Dude, that was
Let me go to the next platform, please. All right.
There's just something I have to say
Sorry.
here. It's not
Sorry,
just
but-
regarding Stadia, it's cloud gaming in general.
fantastic.
And it regards also Xbox and PlayStation and eventually Nintendo when they actually do
bash
the move of
Nintendo.
being a real cloud platform. But we might be seeing in the future not a disappearance, but multi-platform games will become a rarity. Like it'll be less and less common. We will see more and more for exclusives, not just first-party titles, but exclusive titles, because cloud gaming will be so easy to access. Like you have the Samsung TVs that are coming now with native Stadia app, native Utomic, and like more platforms will be on there. It will be very soon that we'll be able to see Xbox on there, and PlayStation will be on these. So that will come standard with your hardware now. The ease of access will be incredible. Now, why, if you're a dev, why would you go and adapt your game to every single one of these platforms? Because they will, yes, it's all computers, but some of them run different than others. Stadia uses a Linux background. They have to do a lot of adaptation. I know they released some tools lately to make it that much easier, but it's still a lot of work to adapt the game to Stadia. You have all the works that if you go on PlayStation, it's not running off Windows. They have their own OS that they're using on the console. Porting a game to PlayStation can be expensive. Xbox is about the cheapest to do because it's straight up DirectX Windows. But now, as a developer, why would you go and adapt your game to all of these platforms if everyone has access to all of them? Instead, you can easily sign up for an exclusive that you know will have a certain value to the platform. You go to PlayStation, you go to Xbox, you go to Stadia, you go to whatever platform. You tell them, "I've got a game. Let's make it exclusive to your platform. Do you have something for me in exchange for that?" That is a huge currency, that platform exclusivity. And since you know that everyone will have access to all those platforms, doesn't make sense to go on every one of them. So multiplat will become less and less common with the arrival of cloud gaming when it will be adopted. What?
They don't want to hear that, Doc. I've been on that saying that exclusives matters. Like
exactly, it's
exclusive matters.
What
man.
will make up the platform? What will give the success to the platforms is the exclusive games.
Content will forever be king. Content.
People don't remember Netflix for just the basic shows. They know them for the Stranger Things. They know them for House of Cards.
I know them from a DVD collection.
You need to get some more NC-17 movies, though. I'm just saying.
So
Red
HBO.
Notice that just came out, excellent, with Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, and what's her name again? Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot. So it's a big blockbuster movie. It came out as a Netflix exclusive. It's bringing people on there. Yep. Sorry, I kind of interrupted you on there. Just wanted to add that on there. Maker, you can continue your point. I was just
going to point out, like, what do you think when you think of HBO? You know, you think Game of Thrones. You think The Sopranos. You know, it comes down to these exclusive like shows that people come to these platforms for. They create an identity. That's why when you think Sega, you think Sonic. You know, and right now Stadia doesn't have that. And I think that's what they need to work on.
What does Luna have?
And that's why they're struggling too.
We thought they're not struggling. They're not even out.
Yeah, they're not
even out in the world, dude. Jesus.
I think they are struggling to get some traction.
But see how New World is. That's an exclusive, right? You know, I mean, it's on Amazon Games. You know,
it's not on Luna. They should
Right,
have
but it's
that
under,
unlimited.
but it's under, yeah, but it's
Amazon
you
Games.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's
And they're building new studios. They were just started building a studio over in Montreal.
Well,
My-
that's the key. They have first part. Well, at least they have first party studio for a reason. They know that gaming is their future.
My thing is, if you're not gonna have a studio to make games and make exclusives, then damn it, you got enough money to buy AAA games and then buy and then have it so it can be ported easily. But if there's no AAA games, and I mean,
People aren't going to go there. That's just the way it is.
But then I do want to say I've seen somebody on Twitter say, "Well, I don't care about all these games. I'm just a casual gamer, and I just want a few games. I don't have to have all these different titles and stuff like that." Is there a market for people like that?
But in return, the company has to make some type of money, and they have to market.
They're getting paid. People paying X amount of dollars for pro games and playing 4K.
Well, what if they get rid of the pro games because they're starting to lose subscribers? They get rid of the pro games that they give away, and they just start putting certain select titles on. Then what do? How do you justify that? See, they're not going to keep giving away games that nobody's playing. You can't tell me that developers aren't looking at the numbers to see, are there games? Yeah, that's great that you're claiming them, but how often are people actually playing all of these games that you get for free? Unless there's something big, they're not making a whole lot of money off of that. They're not getting any exposure. You might be getting a little bit of exposure the day it releases on the pro day, but in all reality, if it's some unknown, if it's a new developer, you're still not making it a difference because you're still not getting anywhere with it.
Yeah, and even for me, when I posted that question on the last podcast of like, where should I buy Destiny 2 expansion, PlayStation or
Stadia? It on Stadia, right?
Or Stadia? No, I brought it on PlayStation because here lies in here lies in
we had a nice conversation at headquarters, and he went with he took the right deal.
Here lies in the problem, right?
Can't say it's under NDA.
Look, as PlayStation got better with their streaming tech, and I was playing on that, and I was like, I can just remote play Destiny from my PlayStation anywhere, and it's running better than the Stadia version. And so I was just having a real back and forth, like, okay, well, Stadia's native. I don't have to worry about my PlayStation 5 being not on if I'm away, and all these different things. Like, I was just, going back and forth, like, okay, where should I buy it at? I ended up buying it on PlayStation because just for me, kind of like we were saying, where's the future of Stadia going? Are they upgrading their tech? What are they doing? Where's the support at? We just don't know. And so I do know that there's support on the PlayStation right now. And so that led my decision to buy Destiny 2 on PlayStation. Right? But I do like Stadia for what it is, but when you have all these different things that you're not doing right, you're not doing all these things that you're not doing right, even for the small market of gamers that you do market to, you're letting the competition steal them up.
If you take Stadia as the app, as the platform, you just go into games, you're looking at how well it runs, it's amazing. And most people don't have a problem with that. It's running really well. Where people are having a problem is the doubt what's going on right now. We don't know what's going on.
The consistency,
for
the marketing.
Almost a year now. Like,
I would just say the overall future of it. You need to, at some point, you have to come out and say something of what your plan is. You can't just sit and ignore everything.
But when they released Cyberpunk 2077, they were at the top of their game. And we all thought, we were speculating, we were looking at what was going on. It's like, Stadia is going to announce something big soon. They're going to sign a publisher. They're going to get some games down the line because they're looking good right now. They released Cyberpunk, then there was a bit of radio silence, then they brought in some events. Didn't strike as well as people thought. Like, it didn't have the impact people thought it would have. And like, they always waited a bit too long before seizing the moment. And we ended up where we are today now. So it doesn't look good. Now we're talking about content. Why content is king. Something has been popping back in my head here and there. Like I know right away, just by bringing it up, a lot of people are gonna say red flag because of Monopoly. But if the Activision Blizzard acquisition does seem to go well, it kind of opens the ground for other type of acquisition that could happen. And talking about Sony PlayStation, because they're worth a lot of money, but they're not worth that much. I don't see them doing an acquisition of the size of Activision Blizzard. They don't have the money for that. But somebody has the money for Sony, though. Sony's hurting at the moment. They just lost a bunch of money. And who do you think would gain the most out of acquiring Sony at the worst, dismantling part of it, getting part of some of its, like splitting it up, taking what they need and sending the rest like back to the market so that they don't have too much of a monopoly?
Nintendo would, but again, when it comes to market
Nintendo
share,
would get the Nintendo would just
Not
just
Amazon or
give it
Apple, probably.
when it
Disney.
comes that, and then when it comes to stock market,
I don't see Amazon doing
this
it
happens
though.
all the time. Like if you're an investor, you know this. Like this happens all the time. Anytime one company A announces something, another company goes down, and then it bounces back. Like that happens all the time.
If you want me to give you a serious answer, I could see Apple doing it because it would be to boost. It would be to tie in with the Apple Arcade system that they have and to amplify and then come out strong. Apple's another one. They don't announce anything. They stay behind their Apple wall and don't tell because they don't have to. They don't have to tell you anything. They just do whatever the hell they want behind there because they know if you're in the Apple ecosystem, you're one of them.
They also have
And I
kind of
don't
the
think-
premium attitude as well, where their products are premium. It's you pay that much.
I mean, my
for an Apple
MacBook,
device
my
because
MacBook Pro
Right.
is beautiful. I love
right,
that.
and I
thing.
don't think Disney can do that because with the whole thing with the Spider-Man situation, and I think that's one reason why Disney or Marvel is not at this time.
It could happen
with all the
in a
antitrust,
multiverse,
with
though.
all the antitrust and all the FCC.
In
Like
another
everybody's
universe.
tightening up. About
Ray,
these
take your
monopolies.
speculation out of here.
Everybody's tightening up with these
Yeah,
monopolies,
you
right?
think
So I don't think Disney can.
Speculation.
I don't think Disney
Remember-
can get
Okay.
Sony
Remember,
just for
Doctor was
Spider-Man.
right.
Here's why I'm bringing up Disney's. If you rewind back to when they actually purchased Fox, what
Excuse
happens
me?
that the issue? Huh?
Shut up, Ray. I knew what he was
What?
saying.
I know.
He's trying to make a damn joke and it failed
But,
miserably.
When they purchased Fox, what happens that Court had an issue with it just because they already had ABC, they had already a news channel. By acquiring Fox, that also meant acquiring Fox News. Now they were getting a lot of the basically the news network in the country. That's where they had a problem. The moment they said, okay, we're going to break apart Fox News, make it its own company, and just let them go their way, and we're taking the rest, they had no problem with it. It wasn't even on the table. It's like, okay, you're doing that? Perfect. We're signing it. Take it, leave it. So
Sony's
if
not leaving with
Sony-
Spider-Man. They're not leaving with Spider-Man. Can you imagine Disney coming up to Sony? Hey, let's purchase you, but in order to get around regulations, let's break off Spider-Man from your corporation.
but I'm just saying Disney, because right now Sony lost a lot of money, and if you look back in the history of Sony, it's something that keeps coming back. Their electronic manufacturers, their lines of electronic, will do well at times. It will struggle at times, but they've never been in a position where they were leading the market and making a ton of profit. They've always been saved by Sony Pictures, Sony Music, Sony PlayStation. That's what's been rolling in a lot of money consistently in their brand. But Sony, as the bigger company without those IPs, always struggled. So Disney could go in, basically do the purchase, dismantle the company, take what they need. So we're talking about the Spider-Man license and all the Spider-Verse that comes with it, and acquire PlayStation, include that within like their ecosystem of Disney Plus and all that, like make an offering of everything where they have, because we are in an age where content is king, and it's all kind of content. If you have your movies, your TV shows, your games included in that, it could be very big. And as far as calling it monopoly, it would be borderline, but they would have a way to make it pass. So it's, if I'm thinking about who could acquire them, in my head, Disney is the one that makes the most sense.
For me, it's Apple, just because Apple has that buku money to spend on it.
Yeah, they got $3 trillion right now.
It's like
They're-
2 trillion, a little over.
Does it really? I mean, that's like chump change. I got that in my vault.
Now.
Now.
And then it's
in the
apparent.
dreams.
It's apparent that they're shifting more towards gaming with the Apple Arcade. Look at the exclusives that they provide on there. There's like NBA 2K22, which Stadia doesn't even have.
Oh, what the God.
I was waiting.
He pulled out the shit.
Fantasian is another exclusive title, as well as World of
Hey,
Games, which is a game made
you
by
know what?
Platinum Games.
Just saying, NBA 2K22 looks fantastic on Apple Arcade.
I like playing it on where am I got it at? Oh, Xbox.
Now,
Yeah.
Kiefer, we ain't gonna see no Disney PlayStation. We'll see a Nintendo PlayStation again.
Yeah, we're not gonna see no Disney PlayStation. You gotta
Nah,
remember, like, we're
Nintendo's already pissed they lost out once. They ain't gonna lose out. They're gonna be like, look, bitch, take our money, give us our stuff back.
right. This is more of a Western way of thinking about like corporations and stuff. But we gotta remember, like, there's stuff blowing up in
they
as far
do
as Japanese versus the U.S. and certain things
Asia
are
loves
happening
Disney.
on the military side. I mean, there's other stuff
not-
going on.
I'm just kidding,
It's
Disney.
not
I
just
love you guys. Please don't revoke my contract.
It's not purely consumer based that things are happening, right? And so we gotta also take that into account too, as Sony is a major Japanese traditional company, and how does that government feel about losing that corporation to an American company?
Did you know that ain't gonna happen?
Excuse me, but guess what? Here's a vault of money. Sony who? Sony, get the hell on out of here. Go on to the born in the USA. Bye, get out. Yeah, sorry.
Never happened.
Money
Never
talk.
happening. That's
Money
not
talk.
happening. That's
Money
not
talks, but not to the U.S. government. It doesn't talk. The FDA would be all over that in a heartbeat.
happening. Right.
You
Not
can
to-
try and spin
not
it
to-
however you want. The FDA would be like, "Oh, you want to start that? Let's investigate this shit." That deal would sit there for eternity. It'll never happen.
Yeah.
Good luck on that. You got
Yeah.
Shit,
Dude,
you got a better
when
chance.
I
You
saw-
have a better chance. You
When I
have
saw
a
Dr.
better chance. Oh,
Statement tweet out that Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard. I thought that was a joke.
That's
I-
a Western,
that-
but
I-
that's a Western
no
company.
way.
That's a
Exactly.
Western, but that's a
Everyone's
Western
reacting to
company.
I'm just
That's a
saying,
Western
you have a
company.
better chance of seeing Sega come out of nowhere and be like, "Guess what? We're back, baby," because they bought out Sony, and then just turned the light switch back on. All right, let's put that Sega logo back up. Let's work on rebrand that PlayStation. That's the Dreamcast now, baby.
I woke up
You guys need to watch the
was
news,
like
the
a,
world news.
like it was Jason Schreier. I know he's not the most popular guy, but I still follow him
I
because
like
he
him.
does get some scoops.
I like
He's pretty good
And it was
journalist.
my
He's
notification. Like I turned on my phone. It was Twitter. It was his name, and it said Activision Blizzard, according to the New York or Washington Post. Yeah, one of the journals that were
I don't get
acquired
my
by
news from Fox.
Microsoft. I was like,
Of course she did.
that's impossible. Like I opened the story, it's like it has to be fake. He has to be trolling. Yeah, no.
Fake news.
Fox.
I get my news
Yeah,
actually from
Nintendo
Weekly World
filed an
News.
Activision Blizzard.
I think they
The
still make that
difference,
paper.
A lot of people bring that up that Nintendo or Ubisoft could have been acquired. No, they wouldn't, because they're not up for sale. Activision Blizzard seeked out buyers. You
Right.
cannot, companies of that size, you cannot just walk in and say, I'm buying that, because that's going to cost a lot of money if they do agree. We all know Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo, and they offered a good money,
They got laughed
and
out.
Nintendo said no.
They got laughed out. That's what it
They
said
were like,
on the
what's the
Xbox.
price?
On
The price is your plane ticket to go back home. That's the price.
If you watched the documentary, you would have saw that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, the Eastern companies are usually very kind of, they cling to each other. They don't. I could definitely see them saying no, but it
Yeah, Apple through Trilliums.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Disney's
the
a lot
government- it's the-
smaller
it's the
than
government.
Apple.
It's the government. You know, gotta take that into
Few more
account.
billions, and they would say yes. Japanese companies are corporations. It doesn't work the same way as a Western.
Yeah, because if they fail, they got like swords and they stick it into their stomachs if they fail.
That exactly, I would see. Something I would see happen is a merger between Sony and Tencent. That I would see happen.
Yeah, you'll see that before you see a American company take over Sony.
Especially not the U.S. companies. Now, in the U.S., everything is for sale. In the East, no.
No.
So,
$1 million man, everybody's got a price.
by the way, speaking of Nintendo, they're launching some new cloud gaming titles. Kingdom Hearts is
Yes.
being released on the Switch through cloud. I've seen a video. It actually looked pretty good.
I think I might just play that.
What the hell? What else? Ray, you need to update your name. Just slap that King of Content under your logo. You the new
No,
King of
real.
Content.
That's
Yeah,
Cowboy.
yes.
Content
Make sure it's the
verified.
real King of Content.
Cowboy
The-
has tainted that, so I'm not taking it.
Yeah, no, he's a late
King
night
of
talk
Content
show.
and
That's
the
all that
blue
matters.
check mark right next to it.
he's a late night crap show that you watch at 3 a.m. with the infomercials when you ain't got nothing better to do when you're in the hospital recovering from surgery, and then you still turn that shit off.
When was the last time anyone played Riders Republic? It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Oh, is that still a game? I'm just kidding.
That was the
It's
biggest.
a fun
That was the
game.
biggest Stadia
Out.
release. Come on.
No,
It's a game
I
with
totally
a strong
forgot.
following,
Look,
but
I've been so hooked on Assassin's Creed
Cyberpunk
Odyssey.
2077.
Yeah,
What's
that was
amazing
the biggest
is
title
GeForce,
for
guys.
Stadia.
It
it
does
ran?
look amazing on GFN, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Yes, ching ching. That just made some money out.
Look, my contract requires me to say GFN at least every time I say it. I hear a dollar sign.
Oh,
It just
went
pops
from
up on my
Garfield-
computer. Cha-ching.
Went from Garfield to GeForce. I got you. I feel you.
Yeah, Garfield's the big
Hey.
big release for GeForce.
Garfield. Look, I don't really give a. Extraction's not my style of game. Y'all, I mean, people would want to see me play it just to rage quit. Like that's not my form of entertainment.
Yeah, it is. Stop
You
going
can play.
against
You
it.
can play. Blacksmith.
That's the only reason why I
Blacksmith
sold to
Simulator on
you.
GFN. You could be a
That's the rate.
blacksmith on GFN. That came out today. You could be a
Today?
blacksmith. Yes, blacksmith simulator.
I could go play Hitman 3.
Yes, you could.
there's just
It's
something.
on-
Are
I
you
forgot
still
to
playing
show
that gas
earlier.
station simulator?
No, I got fired from that.
Like,
And I
I
was
can't
the
listen,
owner.
but
I fired myself and I was the owner.
Later, Keeper.
They're
All
like,
right, Keeper. I got daddy duties too. It's called eating barbecue.
see you, Keith.
Good
But
night,
there's just
bro.
something I forgot to show. I kind of did a poll today. It wasn't to bash.
I saw your
just to have
poll.
a
Yeah,
general
you did. I saw your
Ray,
poll.
listen
Saw
here,
your
you
poll,
Google
man.
employee.
I just,
You ain't doing
just
a good
wanted
job
to
as
get
a
your
Google
poll.
employee.
I got a
Would
poll
you be
for
surprised if Google was to shut down Stadia in 2022? And like I got 49 votes in it. It
don't even
didn't
get that
reach
much.
out like super large, but it's mostly people from within the cloud gaming community that tune in generally in my tweets.
Oh, poor
And
YouTube.
73.5% wouldn't be surprised. So
Google's already
Yeah.
on the warpath with shutting things down.
I'll be
Sad
more
day.
surprised if RCS comes to Stadia Shack.
See, look, there's gonna be a guys. Look for tomorrow
Yup,
a
it's that.
blog and some stuff. In Stadia Twitter.
do you think it'll be on tomorrow?
I think
No
they'll-
chance in hell. Sorry.
They're gonna see
hate
this
to
show. Somebody's gonna
burst
see
your
this
bubble.
show. Somebody's watching CloudNationTV, or they'll get word, or they'll see DrSpaceman's tweets, and then say, you know what, we got to put something out. And what they're gonna put out is Zorro and Fire Commander is coming out next month.
That's it?
There you go. And they
That's-
know,
somebody's
Mafia
So-
1 and 2, and Mafia
Yeah,
1
they
and
were
2.
just rated.
I already-
Mafia 1 and 2 were just rated for Stadia.
Yes.
So those will show up on the
Yeah,
platform,
yeah.
what, like
Yeah.
a year later?
Mafia 1
Those will
and
come out
2.
what, like next year or the year after? Who the hell's gonna play them? Who really plays Mafia 3 anymore?
I will play
What
it
else do
on
they
the
have to play?
Stadia platform. I will stream it on YouTube and Twitch, folks.
For what? Like one day and then never touch it again? I'm telling
Where's
you,
your, where's your
these
PlayStation wrap
companies-
up, Ray? Where's your PlayStation wrap up, man? Let me see.
Look,
Where did
that's
you
the
get
thing. But wait, here's the best part of this.
Hey,
Hold up.
Hey,
get out of here.
Is this the Mafia
outta
that?
here.
Hold up.
Get out.
Is that the Mafia that Stadia is supposed to get? Those two that I'm gonna have to pay for, but if I go on PlayStation Now, I don't have to pay for them. Why would I buy them again if I can play them for free?
Because you get the experience of Stadia, which, you know,
But it'll look
what
better
features
on
will
Play.
it have?
you
Do you get
But
a
it'll
trophy for playing on Stadia?
get.
But no,
They
not
might-
even
hey,
with the
they're
trophy.
working
The
on
graphics
features.
will look 10
There
times.
might be some features.
What?
Like crowd play.
So
It'll be
Stream Connection is a single player game?
You know, you guys stop.
No
hating.
chance.
Stop hating.
I'm not hate. I'm
It's the
actually
dad
asking
features.
a legit question
It's the dad
here.
features.
What would make me want to buy the game if I can play it for free somewhere else?
It was cheaper
I
on
would
PS.
post
got
that
the
it was
dad-
just rated, but it
Look,
were rated about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
They're not coming.
It's not.
It's
a
That's
first
the
time
thing.
dad
that
They're,
it's
feature.
they're
rated.
not coming.
They're coming. Avatar
Yeah, when I'm
coming.
dead in about 60 years, when I'm dead.
After they become Google Play games.
Hey, Frontline. We're getting the new Ubisoft Battle Royale. That's coming.
So basically, if it's now take away all the Ubisoft games. Take away all the
Pathfinder,
Ubisoft games.
Death Carnival.
What do you?
Fire Commander.
Okay.
No.
Indie game.
Ubisoft
Indie game. Indie game. What's the game that actual gamers actually want to play? Are you going to get? What happens if FIFA doesn't show up in Madden? And well, you're never getting NBA 2K again. I mean, we already know that. That's
Paw
pretty much
Patrol and
like what it like. You have to think outside of the Stadia box. That
Prince
as
of
a
Persia.
whole, if you're in a gaming business, you have to appeal to everyone. You can't just sit there and appeal to the indie developers. You may as well close it Stadia down everywhere but
Scarlet
India.
Nexus
Then,
is
but
gonna
all
be
the,
coming to Stadia. You heard it here, folks.
What?
Scarlet Nexus.
Scarlet Nexus.
I've never heard of it, so it must not. Is it another indie game?
not happening.
I know Prince.
No, it's a big
It's gonna
AAA
come
game.
in- it's gonna
Prince
come
of
to Stadia.
Persia is coming to Stadia.
I bet you it'll be the MS-DOS version from the 80s.
Right, there's
Wait a
there's no
minute.
Prince
As
of
much as
Persia
you're
game on
beating
Stadia.
up on Stadia, what is
Asking-
coming out for Luna? What's coming out for Luna?
I have no idea. Luna's
What
down
is
there.
coming out
I
for-
never played Luna.
Beating
so
up on
I mean,
Stadia.
Hold
I
up,
haven't played.
Ubisoft, the same fucking thing. Nothing but Ubisoft games.
Couch play.
Look, GFN.
Hey, don't knock the couch play. That shit. That
No,
actually
I know,
is
but
legit.
I know, but that's what they got. You know?
But if you look at it, Steam has the same thing. I'm just saying, you have to. If I'm a gamer if I'm a big time gamer, what the hell is appealing me to come to play on Stadia?
Look.
You ain't got nothing, and that's the problem.
They asked.
And I know I got an email confirmation just a minute ago that my PS5 and Xbox Series X are on the way.
They asked.
Because they ain't going.
They did ask the community what would you like to see.
I'm gonna bet you 10-1. The only
Wow.
ones that responded are the same. The ones that already use the service.
No,
That's
I
not.
think I think they're redoing everything.
So blind.
I think did they not send something out and ask people?
They did.
Yes, they did. All right.
10 to 1. That applied that actually did that.
Guys, they ask and they don't do nothing. That's effed up.
I'll tell you right now.
Google. That is the Google way.
Made by community managers. Community managers do not determine the future of the platform. So I'll be honest. I wouldn't expect much from it. I think it was just an interaction thing that they're doing.
Didn't they do the same kind of something? Not an actual survey that you go and fill out, but didn't they do something similar the last time? What was it? Back in December, I think they did something similar. What do you expect to see at the game show? And then what happened? The Stadia hype train went batshit crazy because everybody thought they were going to show up and bring something to the table. And what did they do?
They had the Stadia
Nothing.
People in the audience.
But what did they do? They did nothing. Oh, no. Google did something. Google announced Google Play Games for PC.
There you go.
Once again, they're doing the same thing. They're hyping everybody up, and then they're not going to do anything.
But
I mean, they may follow. They're going to do something, but it's going to be just like what they did at YouTube Originals. I'm sorry.
I'm sitting here.
You know what the problem is here is the truth hurts. The truth hurts. It sucks. I get it, but that's the reality. Is that what you're going to see is either Stadia's going to either
in what was that? The Blacksmith came out today. Okay, come on, dude. Seriously?
I'm not going to say that that was a weak ass lineup for GFN. It was, except for Extraction, that was a weak lineup. But I'm talking about the fact that Stadia has not done anything. Google is going to either do one of two things. Stadia's going to follow the same suit that YouTube Originals just did, or it's going to get rolled into Google Play Games.
Now turn around because he's got the GFN glory hole right behind him, folks. There you go.
If you want to take my bets on who's going to win the year, it's
there you go.
Sony and Xbox.
Yeah.
So, as for why that survey that was done not too long ago,
sweep the leg, because the problem is I'm right, and when it comes out, and that's what happens. You're going to end up doing the same thing that Jeff did when his Cowboys were one and done. You're going to delete your Twitter because you ain't going to want to hear.
Between me and Jeff, I do have balls.
Guys, okay. Just for the survey that came around, like it can mean many things. Maybe they will improve Stadia on it, but let's just put in perspective a scenario. Like, just let me go through that scenario before you interrupt me. But let's say you got a scenario that you have your platform that you got out there, you're building your whitelisting, and you're thinking about improving that whitelisting offering you can provide to other companies, and you have the platform that's live right now, whether or not you're thinking about closing it, but you're gathering a lot of consumer data, how they react to whatever feature you have on the platform. Well, let's say, for example, you were about to shut it down, like it doesn't make financial sense for you to keep that platform. You want to gather information before you shut it down as to what worked, what didn't work, what people liked in the UI, what people liked, how you launch the games or stuff like that. You want to get that information from the people who've been testing it out and enjoying it, so that you have a list of things you're going to do to try to bring the best product possible for when you're selling that corporate product of whitelisting. So it can be a good thing that they ask people for what they're doing, or it could just be a last bit of data gathering before they close down shop. So it can mean a lot of things. It can go either side.
I wouldn't look too far into it, is my thing. Because, ultimately it is from the community team that they're pushing out this. What were some of the other questions that they asked on that survey? Is it relevant to? I just don't see them really. I can't remember either. I just know that Wish was the last one, and I think that was just a fun question that they put onto that survey. I know they asked how often do you play.
The problem with that though is the way that the community responds to the slightest hint it gets blown out of proportion, and that's exactly what happened once again.
But that's the point of what I just explained. The scenarios, it can mean great things, but it can also mean pretty horrible things. If they shut it down, they want to do data gathering before they shut it down to know what they need to correct so they can sell it to a corporation as whitelisting. So they go see AT&T and they do a pairing with HBO Max. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying survey, if it means a great purpose, it can go either way. So it doesn't mean that Stadia is doing well. It means that it did a survey and it can go any direction.
With three wishes.
I think the community team want that feedback to provide to their higher ups, but it's going to mean jack squat if the higher ups don't listen to them. I mean, I work for a Fortune 500 company, and we send our own feedback up to these people, and I'll tell you right now, half of them get ignored. It's really up to the management to decide what they want to do, and I don't know what they're going to do, honestly. Like if they see numbers dropping, what do they do? Like I'll tell you right now, numbers dropped for our company. You know what they said? Let's stop hiring people. And it was just a stupid thing for them to do. And then we just got further behind. So companies, people try and act like companies are the smartest things in the world, but they can be the dumbest people in the world I've seen. It's so frustrating because people are like, oh, Google knows what they're doing. Xbox knows what they're doing. Sony knows what they're doing. No, they're people just like you and me. We can all make mistakes. Even Google can.
Yeah. This here reminds me, I've worked for 6 years in customer service technical support. I've done television technical support and mobile phone technical support. And sometimes you get customers that call that are angry and they just keep shouting and shouting at you. One of the tricks we learned, and it was proven, like it's something they tell everyone around the world, do this, it'll help you greatly. If you're doing customer service, you tell the customer, okay, could you just take a piece of paper and a pen? I'm just going to tell you some stuff to write down. Immediately, the person goes from angry to, okay, I'm looking for this. Okay, I'm writing some stuff down, and it just gets them off of their trail of being angry. It makes, like John Porter's comment here, just makes me think about that trick. Like it's what they're trying to do to the community who's worried about what's going on, who's not seeing titles released to the platform, who's not getting a roadmap of what's going on into the future. It's what it looks like. Silence.
It's frustration.
Yeah, nothing. I gave my thoughts.
Yeah.
Where I see this going.
Yeah. So any other tangent we can take that's not Stadia related that you guys want to talk about?
Did we discuss the we went over the I've lost track of what the hell we talked about at this point. We already went over the GFN app update, right?
I'm not sure if we talked about it. I don't think we did. So
I think maybe it was offline.
Yeah, GFN is currently rolling out an app right now, an app update on pretty much every device. I know on PC especially, they're getting upscaling. Mac. Yeah, PC and Mac, and they're allowing upscaling. So depending on the GPU that you have, it's only still limited GPUs that are supported. It will allow AI upscaling. So that if, for example, you're playing on a 4K screen, 4K 120 FPS, normally the stream is limited at 1440p. I don't have confirmation, though. I'm not sure if it does cover that. They more mentioned for a lower bit rate, but it will allow you basically to use your GPU to do like AI assisted upscaling, so it looks better. The case where they mentioned it is especially if you have poor data, like you want to drop from 1080p to 720, you can use AI upscaling to bring it up to 1080p or 1440. while still
Yeah.
getting like 120 FPS. So it's very interesting. I don't have the
basically
yet.
allows you to stream your games at a lower resolution than upscale. So it pretty much does what the Shield TV Pro does in essence. And then the form I got, it basically talks about the standard mode. You have a standard mode, an enhanced mode, and the AI enhanced mode. But then the dynamically adjusting your stream settings, actually, if you use custom streaming quality, then on the PC and Mac app, you can actually just hit the Control G or Command G if it's Mac, and adjust everything while you're in there. And I think they apparently have improved. They're improving the quality of service, the overall streaming experience on the web-based version as well has been improved automatically by automatically assigning the ideal streaming resolution for devices that are unable to decode at high streaming bit rates. So they've fixed a bunch of stuff, but I think the big thing is going to be the resolution upscaling feature, and then just dynamically adjusting your stream settings.
I'd have to check, but if you can get 4K 120 FPS with the upscaling, it's going to be a very interesting feature.
Well, yeah, especially since Twitch and NVIDIA are working together to get the that 120 FPS working on their end, on Twitch's end, to stream. That'll be the only place that'll be the first and right now current only place to stream at that high of a frame rate, that high of an FPS.
That's good. So you guys wanted to jump on another subject before we close this?
I'm good.
You're mute.
That's not nice to call people names.
Did anybody look at the Horizon trailer?
It looks
The
good.
Verizon trailer?
Yes,
Yeah, it
the
looked
new
great.
story trailer. Did you even? Yeah.
Oh, Horizon Forbidden West, you mean?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, the story
well-
trailer dropped today.
Will we get shut down if I share that?
Hey,
We're on Twitch. We're allowed to do stuff like we're on Twitch. We're okay.
Oh yeah. That's why I was actually playing Horizon Zero Dawn when the trailer dropped this morning, and I had to watch it.
Too long. I'll actually share. Won't be long.
Oh, it gets hot. It was getting hot in here. God, man. Excuse me for having my damn fan on.
I don't know if it'll be really loud or not. I'm just gonna lower it.
I'm running out of time.
Look at that PlayStation logo.
The land is dying. People are suffering.
Man, again, looks
Soon.
good.
Whoa.
They'll starve. And the machines meant to help us are out of control. I have to find a way to fix it all. And the answer is somewhere out in the Forbidden West.
In the West, war is the rule.
Send pause.
Peace, the exception. The rebel leader, Regala, seeks to slaughter all those who've wronged her. She will kill anyone who gets in her way. They say she answers to a higher power. He supplied her with troops, weapons, even the ability to control machines. Machines of war.
Whatever secrets he has, he's keeping to himself. And the solution I need is broken and scattered. Everywhere I look, things are falling apart. I don't know if I can find a way forward. Like Elizabeth did.
All by yourself? Ha! No way.
I'll be careful and...
We're coming with you.
And that game seems awesome.
She's rolling with Ray and Vet if we were in that world.
Anyway, it paused for unknown reasons, but it's a good-looking game. Good-looking, like the first one, I haven't finished yet, but I'm getting along pretty far. I have to pick it back up. It's an amazing game, amazing story. They crafted a beautiful world. So
yeah, I've been playing through Zero Dawn, and the intro is really good for that game. I'm curious to see how they do this one, if they're going to go with smaller open world sections, since it does look like there's very like kind of environments that it looks like they travel to, instead of the one big open world that the original Horizon Zero Dawn was.
Yeah.
Kind of more of like I'm wondering if they're going to go like a Last of Us 2 route, where it's kind of these small sections that you can explore and go
it'll be
around.
interesting to see.
Yeah. I definitely want to see how big those towns are.
Yeah. That's my biggest curiosity, because a lot of that showcased cutscenes and not a lot of traversal of these areas.
I'm really curious to see how it will be, but I would be surprised if they don't have large open areas in the second one. The first one was such a big success, and it worked so well with those open areas. So I don't know. It's been very limited what they've shipped in terms of information for that game. They're keeping a good wrap on it.
Oh my God. You know, Starfield released something today as well.
Yeah, there was
A little
something about
teaser.
Oh
Starfield.
my
I
God,
shared it.
look at that. It's welcome to New Atlantis, the capital of the United Colonies. And it just shows a ship flying in, and it shows the landscape and the cities.
Is it just the thing on Twitter?
Yeah, I can it's trending right now.
Yeah, because I think I shared it. It's the one.
There's an article
no.
on it.
Hold on. It's not the right kind of sharing.
There's a video on it. Developer commentary.
Right.
A button. Screen. Oh, there's a developer commentary. Oh, okay. Chrome tab. Look at this, because I can't wait to play this game. That'll be probably the biggest game
I'm
of
El
the year.
Pagliarulo, design director of Bethesda
Most
Game
likely.
Studios.
For Xbox,
What
yeah.
I'm looking at here is the spaceport of the city of New Atlantis,
Wow.
the capital city of the United Colonies, or UC, the most powerful, established military and political faction in the game. The city is a true melting pot, and its residents come from every race, creed, and ethnicity. In a lot of ways, New Atlantis is a true reflection of the future of our world.
Not very long. Coming.
November.
11/11.
Oh, look at that. I see
And
PC.
Yeah.
I didn't even say anything. All it said was PC. What do you think I'm implying here? I just thought I was. I mean, I saw PlayStation on there. I mean, my job is done.
Feel
The
same
undercover
way,
CEO.
actually, so I can... Yeah, so lots of big games coming out this year. I'm really hoping that they're big bangers. They're not too buggy when they come out, because expectations are pretty high on these games, so it'll be fun to see.
Yep.
So I think we're gonna wrap this up for today. We covered a lot of subjects. We did a bit of bashing. Sorry, Ray.
Only what an hour of bashing. That's all.
I didn't. I mean, I thought it was constructive criticism.
I'm just of the mind of just don't get your hopes up.
Weren't we just?
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bashing. It was just a lighthearted debate.
JD, you wasn't here when he said people need to pull their heads out of their ass. Yeah, that's some critiquing.
Oh, man.
And
That's some vocabulary.
I mean, look, I'm still right about it because look how people react. Truth hurts. The truth hurts.
We gotta say the truth, man, and saying the truth and doing
I know,
stuff,
but
this
just
is
not an hour of it. There's so many other good platforms that we could.
I'm just
about.
saying, look,
There's better wording.
You know,
There's better wording.
xCloud came out with some games today.
Look, nobody's gonna get mad because they expect that from me. If Doc said that, Maker would probably say something like that, so I think he would get that expectation as well. But the other three on this panel, no one would expect that out of you. The stuff I say, everybody expects. They roll with it. I speak freely. It's not my fault. I mean, the contracts tell me to speak freely, so I got to.
Anyway,
When you get paid from everybody, you got to say the right things.
Would love to see everyone's expectation for Cloud this year. We can just go around, each give our expectation while saying where we can find each one of us, and we're going to close the episode on this. So, Vet, what are your expectations for the year, and where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitch at VetCloud Gaming and on Twitter at VetCloud Gaming. Expectation-wise, I think it's going to be bigger than last year. I think all as a whole, cloud gaming is just going to we're going to see a much bigger expansion of cloud gaming than we did last year, especially since we know Microsoft is making a bigger push in it this year. Sony's getting ready to make a push in it. Nintendo is still slowly dipping their toes in it. Amazon, we still don't know much about. Stadia is in the same boat. I think it's going to be fun to watch, and it's going to be bigger than last year as a whole.
Awesome. Ray, where can we find you, and what are your expectations for this year?
I see xCloud killing it. They just got, oh my God, Activision and Blizzard. Their Game Pass is going to be amazing. I see them also upgrading their tech. So when they upgrade their cloud gaming, it's going to be amazing. I see GFN adding a whole bunch of PC games, a lot of ray tracing games. I think they set the bar right now when it comes to graphics and just a powerful cloud rig. They have the best powerful rig right now. Stadia, I'm just like Vet and a lot of other people. I bought a lot of games. I'm invested. They take money out of my they take money off the credit card every month. My wife's credit card. Not mine.
You got to specify.
But I do remember when they came out in the very beginning and they said they were going to be better than Xbox, they were going to be better than PlayStation. They had all these they had a background with a bunch of publishers and logos. So I want to see AAA games, and I don't want to see I love indies developers. They got to eat, so I appreciate it. I don't have a problem playing indie games, but I do want to play some AAA games on their tech. So hopefully they'll speak on that. And as far as Luna, waiting for Luna, they're wonderful. I love their manager. He actually tweets. He's spoken to me in my DMs. I think their social media team is amazing because they do a lot of advertising and they're great. And then who do we got? PlayStation Spartacus. With just like Godzilla, the sleeping giant, I see Sony doing a lot. Spartacus is coming.
Awesome.
Dino, she doesn't
Ray,
know.
yes, use the last one and she loves it when you
Doesn't
do
know.
that, right?
She doesn't know.
Just
He
for your
just
comment-
he fudges stuff to make it look like it's another purchase.
Yeah. So
Just for your comment, as for just indie titles, I see it a bit like a sandwich. Like, yes, it's fun to have vegetables, but you also want the meat in there and the cheese. You want variety.
Nah,
in there.
holds. In all due respect, though, man. I mean, they got dead. What's the game coming out?
Dying Light 2.
I mean, come on, dude.
Dead by Daylight.
Gas Station
Did-
Simulator 2,
They
starring Vet.
they get. You know what? GFN.
Don't knock the
so-
popularity of
so hold
simulator
on.
games,
So
though.
what?
Those
GFN
damn things are money
With
makers.
GFN,
Oh, yeah, I know.
GFN, what they do get, they'll get a couple of bangers, and then they have some hors d'oeuvres. But don't joke on the tech. The tech is amazing. GFN is amazing. And then that's it, guys. And then I'm Ray3473. I'm Ray3473 on Twitch, and then I am the gaming cyborg Ray3473 on YouTube. Thank you. And I know I get a little heated, guys. You know, because I ain't gonna lie, man. I it hurts to see a company that you love and people just crap on it, but it hurts. But I want them,
Team Apple, baby.
Yeah, I know.
Team Apple.
Android.
Team Apple. I mean,
But you know, you got to speak on it. If you're a consumer, you have to be honest. You got to be real, and you got to speak the truth. And that's what these guys are doing. Even though they get on my nerves, I love them. And I'm done.
That's why Ray's on 3 shows a week with me.
Yeah, I love this.
Right there.
Check our sports show, man. We've been killing it on the sports show. All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
JD, where can we find you, and what are your expectations for the year?
yeah, JD3MXP on Twitch, on Twitter. You can find me over there at PlayStation. But no, for real, I share in Ray's sentiment about Stadia. You know, I invested a lot of money in it. I love Google as a company. I love all their products and services. And it does hurt a little bit to see them mishandle gaming the way that they've done so far. I expect them to try to recover from this and improve the tech and still get some games, probably buy some exclusives since they're not making any. And I expect that we'll probably see something in the summertime. I'll give Stadia to the summertime, me personally, to kind of like start showing us. It'll probably be a little bit late for a lot of people, for hardcore gamers, but I definitely think they'll start showing stuff in the summertime, what they have going on. As far as GFN, they're good on their tech right now. I don't, you know, they can kind of just chill out on that, and just I see them like just getting more games, getting more deals, and telling everybody, look, hey, you know, the 380 tier is working, it's popular, you know, bring your games over here so you know you can make that money with us. And so I definitely expect GF now to continue doing that, and possibly, even though NVIDIA, I don't believe they have a gaming studio making games, but I wouldn't be surprised if they start thinking along those lines. I within the next couple of years, if not this year, I can definitely see them start thinking about, hey, let's buy a company and let them work and make a game for us. I can see them doing that. Amazon Luna, I don't know much about. I don't really pay attention to it. I just know they're in beta.
I've seen your couch code. I've seen your couch code. You can play Garfield with me.
Yeah, send me a couch code.
You can play that on GFN instead.
Right.
That 3080.
Right. I played it before. There's nothing attracting me to it right now. But for them, I think Amazon is just waiting until the cloud gaming tech kind of levels out, and then they'll make a splash, a bigger splash, and then they'll probably surprise us with a couple of things that they haven't announced publicly. let's see. Next, we got Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, you got the Luna, PlayStation controller. Yeah, Xbox Game Pass. I believe we'll start seeing Microsoft trying to continue to increase their network stability, trying to get like people like DrSpaceman, better connectivity.
Xbox already got them.
Yeah, he already got them, but just in different areas where they need
Brush
more.
that off.
I expect Xbox to continue to meet somewhere. They probably won't meet a 380 tier, but they'll be close to that tier throughout this year, and then continue, like I said, making those games available on Game Pass, and just whatever games they got, they're going to be doing that. As far as cloud, PlayStation Spartacus, I believe they'll probably have tiers when it launches. I believe that we will not see day one exclusives on that platform, at least not initially, even with the tiers. I believe Sony is going to market it in a way where they can gauge the bandwidth, gauge everybody that is signing up for the service, and just kind of evaluate the service before we even see like day one exclusives on that platform. I think that's the approach that Sony's going to take to that. So I wouldn't get my hopes up for day one exclusives on the Spartacus platform, but I do think they'll have a tier, and they'll just kind of be like, here, this is what we have, and they'll sit back and kind of watch how consumers react and make adjustments along the way. That's kind of what I see Sony doing. And I think I covered all of them. But yeah.
Good job, man. Good job. That was good. That was good.
It was a very informative. We should have had him go first, and then
I know. First
actually,
and last.
Actually, no. That was actually good for him to go last because he salvaged.
Yeah, he made more sense. Khaos.
Actually, I agree with him on the Sony thing. When it comes to the first the day one releases, this is Sony we're talking about, so we know that they like perfection. So it would make perfect sense for them roll out Spartacus, see how things go, tweak things as they need to, and then start slowly rolling out a PlayStation 5 game here and there. Maybe not a huge title, but they'll start it out. It's just not going to be like Microsoft dropping, let's drop 5 day one games.
Get in now. Maker Chaos, get in now.
Okay, so my take on things, let's go with the negative first and just knock it out. Luna, I don't think they're going to do much this year. I think we might see a few things later this year where they maybe try to pick it up a little bit, but for the most part, I don't think we're going to see much changes until at least next year. As for Stadia, So I think what's going to happen is you're going to see some of these deals for these AAA deals, like EA's deal, start to lapse, and you're going to start to not see these titles coming back to the platform as you kind of already are. I think they're going to keep it along. I don't think they're going to kill it. I think they're going to either combine it with Google Play games, or they're just going to keep it as kind of a smaller scale gaming gaming service.
What the fuck? It's on life support. Is that what that means?
I think, and let's get back to the more positive ones. I think GFN, they can rest on their laurels with the 3080 tier. They have the power. Now they just need to get the games. I think you're going to start to see some publishers come to the platform, especially with the growth of them showcasing the growth of GFN. The 3 million in a little over 3 months is a significant number of new users. I would say that Xbox Game Pass is going to continue to improve the value of their service, and I think they're going to continue to improve the service as well, including the streaming tech that they currently have. You might start to see some improvements with that similar to how when they upgraded the Series X, you got a slight bump in performance. As for PlayStation Spartacus, I would say I don't think they're going to have day one first party, but I think some first party will come to the service day one. Smaller titles similar to Destruction All Stars. Some kind of like smaller first party titles I think will arrive on the platform, but those bigger titles they'll want you to pay for it, and I think it will make a decent splash, especially with them advertising this new final tier with previous gen, and kind of revamp what PS Now is, but make it seem more appealable to a wider audience. And that's my take on all the services.
Awesome. And where can we find you?
You can find me Cloudy with Games. I do some videos with them, as well as CGX, some of the gameplay videos I work on, and obviously here.
Awesome. Sorry about that.
Welcome, Willie, by the way. Willie
Cheater
Lowe.
in
Willie, what's up?
As for myself, well, just where you can find me here every Thursday, and also on Sundays I do my live stream for gaming. Other than that, I stream at odd times, like whenever I have time during the week, I'll do some streams here and there. As for my expectation for cloud gaming this year, I can't hide that PlayStation, I think, will go big. Day and date, I don't think will be included for their first party titles as part of the subscription, but we've mentioned in the past that a bit like the Disney Plus program, but to give some discounts if you get the game day and date while part of the subscription could be a thing that they might consider. We'll see. We have so few information about what PlayStation will do, but for sure, especially with the move that Xbox did acquiring Activision Blizzard, it's gonna poke the bear. So they're gonna put something together to make a great value, and we know that Jim Ryan wants to make a splash to get a lot of customers on board to get the subscription. So I think it'll be good. We know they have the streaming capacity for good quality. So Sony definitely, I think, are the players to watch for this year as for making the biggest growth in terms of a cloud gaming platform for the year. xCloud, I hope, will finally resolve all the issues they're having in certain areas, like in my area, for example. So yeah, getting it up to standards, minimize latency, and getting a more stable stream. Eventually, if they can reach a 1440p stream, and like we know they're working at getting 120 FPS. Some people have been getting like 80 or 90 FPS at times. So if they can get a 120 FPS 1440 working on PC apps and like just give people a good access to the service, that would be amazing. And keep on the bangers coming. And we're going to get those Call of Duty games added to Game Pass eventually. Most likely this year, once they've reached a certain part of the agreements, they're going to get those titles in. So the big two titans that are coming this year is really Sony and Xbox, who are going to steamroll the market. Now, what it means for the rest, GFN has a strong hold on more of the PC crowd. They got a lot of PC exclusive titles like League of Legends is on there, and they got a bunch of Fortnite is on there, and it's also with the mobile touch control that's going to be really popular with the iOS crowd. So GFN has a good holding on the market, and they're just looking at growing right now. Without having their own studio, they got something solid that's growing. And so they might take a hit once the PlayStation and Xbox platform are fully out and fully fleshed out, but they still got a good hold on market. So I don't see them shrinking too much with the expansion of the other two. They might actually continue growing because it is an excellent platform. They got the tech on point. As for Luna, I hope that they get out of beta eventually so that I can play it in Canada here. I really can't say anymore because it's really hard to read into them what their intentions are concerning the platform. They do a lot of advertising for it, but they've been doing a lot of advertising since the beginning and still haven't gone out of beta. So will they come out this year? It's too unclear. I would love it, but also they will need to ramp up the offering for their value that they're giving. But it's still very well priced and they got good games in there. So if they can get out of beta and further the territory, Canada, Europe, that would be amazing. Stadia, they could surprise us. My expectations are not too high for Stadia. At this point, it's not reassuring what's going on right now. We know they got a radio silence going on. The same thing happened in 2020, but back then the platform just came out, so they went 40-day radio silent. But they had just delivered the platform and went to the holiday rush. And after that, they started tackling all kind of problems the platform was having. Then it came out radio silence. Since then, it's the longest radio silence Stadia ever had. So it's not reassuring. We want to know what's going on. Just starting to give news again, I'm not sure is enough. People want to know what is going on, why we got that radio silence, why it seems that there's a low offering. They need to show the goods big time. So I'm hoping it happens, but the direction it's currently going is not reassuring. And that pretty much covers it for the main platform. Other than that, Nintendo, not expecting them to come with a actual cloud platform, but they are ramping up the cloud usage on the Switch, so I'm expecting them to continue that. They're releasing Kingdom Hearts, which looks gorgeous. So yeah, that covers about it.
I just saw a sighting on Twitter. A guy was double charged on DLC, and they said they were going to take care of that.
Who, for Stadia?
Yes.
For what?
On Twitter.
Oh. So they gave his sign to life.
40 Google Stadia, I believe I was double charged for a game. Hey, Alex, we like to look into this. Could you send us a DM?
Okay, so automated.
So that was their generic
answer.
Response. That's their automated response.
Hello, come on, no.
Hello, I was.
Damn.
I could be funny too, folks. Damn.
No, you don't want to. After you harassing me about picking on about that platform.
Whatever.
Come on, Ray. It's small steps.
Yeah, you can't do that small stuff. You just gotta dive right in.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to watch our show. It's really appreciated. You guys rock, and thank you very much. The panel, also Link, that was there earlier.
Oh yeah,
it's great seeing him on here. So starting in that Stadia DM.
That's how you know what's up. Like, hey, Stadia, sliding the DMs like 2 a.m. in the morning. Like, hey, Stadia, what's going on? You get that late night talk.
Let me sign out of my Stadia DM account now, real quick. All right.
So, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. It was fun, great conversation as always. We'll be back next week.
You guys
so,
your thanks.
I gotta eat my barbecue.
Say bye-bye.
See you guys.
Peace.
Bye, guys. Thank you.